way. You know what you're going to get. You know how they're going to look. You know how they're going to play. No matter what 5 players they put in the server, they have got their style and they are going to stick to it. And we'll have to see if I'm chatting absolute nonsense or if that does continue to be the case as we head into our first map. Nuke on the table. An interesting one for a new in-game leader, Dean.
Yeah, for sure. It'll put him to the test. As you said, we'll have to see what style changes, whether he approaches the open a little bit differently or if he's just going to try and keep on going in that regard as he would normally and then call on top of that. We'll keep an eye on Hades. Camera initially shows us there. ABG up on towards the silo, but they've already got the flashes outdoor. I believe they naded the door off as well as a quick A split. As you can see, ABG leading the way. They're actually going to go around towards Hell as Adam takes that initial fight in towards main. One frag already goes down. A trade though from Krasnal as he takes control of the hut. This is a big position to find now so that they can set up for this retake main.
Really well positioned to do so, and Krasnal's dualies continue to ring out. Quick headshot onto Mopos has made this retake feel viable. Stiko's on a slow flank, trying to work his way around. The rest of the team still sat in and around lobby, just hoping perhaps for some over-aggression, but instead they peek a little too wide, and Krasnal goes down. Demq can't get the dualies working like his teammate could, and a flurry of kills come through. Just everyone really contributing. Stadodo comes out with a double. Davigi and Adam S getting some more just to tidy up the pieces. And what looked like an incredibly promising retake fell apart at the seams in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, no, that initial kill from Krasnal, then even kicks it off with a frag before they're fully ready to push in for the retake as well. It looked ideal for them to go ahead and swarm it with the 2 players from the hut, and also I believe they were getting to heaven control, so it is a bit of a surprise there, but Stadodo was the one who steps up and says, "Excuse me, what were you saying about me before this game begun? I'm not a good enough replacement for Alex," or not a 1-for-1 replacement, I think. He says, "I'm going to go ahead and prove you wrong." A little bit younger, I believe, as well, right?
Oh, you've put me on the line there. You can go work that out. I'll talk about this for a bit. Pistols are out. Hades ringing that scout towards the upper site. Stiko's in a good spot here as Adam S deals with Krasnal, but he's just not quite able to adjust the crosshair in time. And Hades, well, he's tagging players up, but he's taking a lot of Mach 10 damage in and amongst it, so just HE will finish the job. And at this point, the full spy is looking very limp indeed for Diha and Demq. Just hoping maybe an exit or 2.
Younger, by the way, so nothing,
okay,
nothing
not too
I thought
much.
it was a little bit more than that.
And this is starting to look, well, it's a very solid second round. Anti-4 spy went moderately heavy on the rifles. We have seen teams commit more significant investment, sticking with 2 Mach 10s on the Movistar Koi side of things and making it work. Obviously, Mopos and Adam taking some damage, but that's nothing to really be concerned about. And they don't really need to worry about hunting this one down too much either. It's just a couple of upgraded deagles and armor. So happy, realistically, to keep the rifles in hand, let them survive through to the next one and start farming up your cash for a 3-0 start.
Definitely the plan. Stay on group with the back of ramp. Diha nearly goes down to the bomb, even though he was fairly far away. The bomb really is something else. But it's only what's kept over there that they'll have to work here now to try and do a little bit of damage. There's a HE and a smoke to back up the Deagles and the Kevlar, and well, Movistar obviously, or Kai rather, managing to keep everything standing there in that round. Will still have the few rifles, a Galil and a couple of Mach 10s on top of the economy they've built up, so even if they lose 2 or 3 players here, it won't really be too big of a deal. They probably wouldn't mind in regards to the Mach 10s and the Galil, especially if they can build up some economy on those SMGs first. So they are just going to go barreling forward. Just takes control of ramp. They notice there's no one here. It is a full A stack as we can see there from the X-rays on the radar. And that leaves B just open for the taking. And I'd imagine Monte would like to maybe just pile up around the stairs, somewhere around Secret perhaps, and maybe get an exit or 2 as they leave this bomb site.
That's the best they can hope for, realistically, and hopefully not die to the Mach 10 as well, because there's plenty of unarmored players running around who, for someone like Justin Mopos, would be feeding frenzy. Going to be a 3-0 start, though, for Movistar Koi. Of course, we talked about it. This is their map pick. It's a map they're very well versed in the art of as well, so expecting to see some magic from them as Adam and Mopos start to clear up the pieces. Question is, what will Monte offer on the CT side? So far, not offering very much whatsoever. A couple of kills in the pistol, really haven't found anything other than that, which is going to be a little concerning because, as you said, the economy last round was looking pretty good. Now it's looking insanely good for the T side, and they're only 3 rounds deep. 2 buys in the back pocket if you're not going to talk about AWPs. And for Monte, as they try and scramble this investment together, Hades does get his hands on the big green, but it's not a good look. Not seen a defuse kit come out yet, which is always a big risk to take on Nuke. Hades not picking up any utility at all to get that big green in his hands. And Stiko, Krasnal, and MQ sacrificing head armor, which normally we don't bother talking about when you're up against the T side. But there's 2 Mac 10s and a Galil in play still.
Yeah, that really could be a problem. I mean, normally you'd be a little bit worried if the T-side are coming into this initial round with so many weaker weapons, haven't taken absolutely no damage. You'd be like, okay, yeah, it's basically a bonus. They'll probably just go for something a little bit crazy. But they realize right now that there might still be some weaknesses to the buy, so they're happy enough to take things slow, try and feel out what this defense is, and run down what is already limited utility, as we can see there. A little bit of damage at least being connected there from Dihan towards Davi, I believe, when he was up on silo. He's dropped down now, joined up with his teammates, and start working towards the secret control where that op is positioned. They're going to need at the very least a trade out of this, but Hades has so many corners to work with. He's going to keep on falling back, maybe staying a little bit too aggressive though as he takes this fight. Should be overwhelmed if they had to just push the issue. I guess unsure if he had backup or not, and yeah, he decides to go forward. That's just unnecessary. They were thinking, okay, if he's so aggressive right here, he must have someone else waiting on the steps. And that was working in his favor, but then he just gets too hungry, goes forward, and at this point now, it's just handed the op over to the low health player as well, who might get a bit more use out of that than he would have the Galil.
Yeah, savage. Krasnal tucked on the upper site as the bomb just lurking around top of secret at the moment. They're trying to work out where they want to take this one with 30 seconds left on the clock. Realistically, a bunch of these CT positions are unknown, including Dia tucked at the back of garage. It's always such a nasty clear to try and go for. Missed shot from the T side. Just is able to trade 1-for-1, and now that upper site is going to be the target, but there's presence here. Krasnal, fantastic position, traded 1-for-1. 15 seconds on the clock. They've got to recover bomb before they can get it down, and Demq out the vent isn't going to allow that whatsoever. Stiko flanking into the hut to finish the job, and well, it's expensive for Monte, and there were definitely some missteps in amongst it, but they get the round on the board, and that really is the critical factor.
Yeah, as we'd said, it's not like it's going to cause Kai too much trouble immediately, though. They're going to need 1 or 2 more gun rounds, potentially, even. As you can see, most of the team there has enough to purchase again in the next rounds. Dodo would probably be limited to an AK, sure, but he'd still make it work, so a healthy position. Yeah, I was about to say, they're definitely stopping this round, it looks like. Hopefully just a quick fix on whatever it is. Krasnal, is he the one maybe having an issue?
I mean, he dropped all his guns.
Yeah.
But Stadodo's also dropped his AWP, so I don't think we can read necessarily too much into that. Demq needs to be a little bit careful here. If he takes damage, I suppose they've already called the reset, haven't they? So if he takes damage, it is what it is.
Unless it's like a built-in server feature that wouldn't let them, but I doubt that.
So we'll just enjoy a little bit of KZ as the players wait for the admin to come back and reset us, and we'll work out whatever the issue is and get back into the action as soon as we possibly can. But as you were saying before we got here, I mean, it gives us a lovely little freeze frame to talk about the economy and the situation that both these teams find themselves in. You know, you look at Movistar Koi on the right-hand side of the screen, plenty of cash in the bank. Loss bonus will top them up quite nicely. If this one goes wrong, they're full buying again. Whereas you look over at Monte, and, well, Krasnal has only got an MP9 on the floor. There isn't a rifle even available for him, and their investment is near enough absolute. They've spent every penny they've got trying to get something on the board. So it leaves them in these sort of precarious situations where they're only 1 round away from being back on an eco and from allowing Movistar Koi to extend their lead, and every round becomes... I mean, every round is a must-win. It's a bit of a cliche to say every round becomes a must-win, but financially, to stay on top of your opposition and to keep rifles in your hands and to keep the utility that as a CT side is so desperately required on a map like Nuke, you have to be winning these rounds, you have to be winning these swings, you have to be resetting that T-side economy every chance you get.
Not going to be any quick resets on the T side anyway. Kai, on the other hand, have a chance definitely to break Monte down here quickly if they can come swinging and take a decisive round win for themselves. At that point then they'd be up 4-1, maybe even heading towards 5-1 on the T side, which would be worst case scenario for Monte. Not sure if we have any news about what the issue is here. Hopefully something minor. Oh.
Nothing yet.
Random fireworks just went off there. I know you heard that.
We just get to talk about any old nonsense for a bit. I think that's how it works.
What the hell are people letting off
Have a look at some of the other games that are going on. There's the reset. That's what we wanted to see. Just having a nosy down the scorelines. Most of the games haven't really got started yet, so I'm not even going to bother saying the scorelines because there's a lot of zeros and very few numbers, so it just looks like everyone's having a bit of a moment.
Close my window, one sec.
Dean's abandoned us. Some interesting decisions to make, and yeah, Krasnal has ended up with that MP9, and that's the real concern here. I mean, it's fairly viable. Nuke is one of the few maps you can realistically get away with shotguns as well if you can position them in the right spots and they can have impact, but it's never a great look for CT side if your full, in quotes, buy includes an MP9 and still only includes one kit as well onto Dia. I mean, Hades has got enough money in the bank that if he wants to go for it, he can.
I think they probably should. On a map like Nuke, it's so easy to lose one kit.
Well, doesn't look like he's going to bite just yet. There is still a bit of time in this pause before we get back into the action to see if they do want to make that commitment. Always does feel like you need at least two, though, right? One on either side, one upper, one lower. Otherwise, you get picked up and they go lower, and you've got someone running around the upper side like a headless chicken, trying to work out where the kit went down. And, well, just as I'm saying that, Hades does opt for the extra investment. A smart call made. Let's see what they look to do with the firepower they've got. Krasnal on the MP9, as expected, top of hut. Position that can have the most impact. And, well, on the T side, Movistar Coins, Dodo's AWP start to work their way outside. A bit of spam here and there. Just trying to keep this CT side honest in the opening moments.
All of the smoke's pretty much put down immediately as well. And they have a few left, sure, but they didn't really wait out at all. Just expecting perhaps a fast play to come out from Kai. Not the case though, they're happy with a default for now.
I mean, to be fair, Koi have used up most of their smokes as well. They've still got a decent execute in the back pocket with the flashes and the mollies, but not going to be locking off angles anytime soon. And, well, as we creep our way down towards Trophy, it looks like Stiko is going to be the one to be tested. Bit of an off angle for the rifler. Can't hit his first shot. The flashbang goes a little deep, but he'll be able to retreat to the relative safety of bot ramp. Diha looking to support, but has to reset towards heaven, so it is going to be ramp room control established. Movistar Koi just looking to leave a lurker there as they exit the position, just so we trusted to hold things down. Problem is, it's not really drawn that much of a rotation by the CT side. I mean, Krasnal's committed to the vent, sure, but he was only ever on an MP9. So with 28 seconds left, as Demq deals with Davigi, this starts to look very one-dimensional. Big HE comes in, but there's no more util to clear this man out. Finally, a HE rings out, but Hades has stayed hidden, or has he? Mopos reads it to perfection. Diha doing what he can from heaven, but as Adames takes out his teammates, this starts to look ugly. Stiko still in the vent, desperately trying to dive out, buys the 2-on-2. Stododo, big shot missed, and now maybe there's a chance, if not for this flank. Stiko wallbangs the AWPer down to buy a 1v1, and it's on to Mopos. Up against Diha, we talked about how those performances needed to go up a level, and it's not going to be for this round. Quick headshot, quick reaction, and a quick 4-1 start for Movistar Koi.
Close round for sure, but that doesn't really matter right here. Kai just about edged that one out. They can rebuy everything they need for this round here, and they know there's going to be a lot of weaknesses to Monte's buy if they somehow can pull one out. And we can see that they can't even really make that happen. Maybe a couple of pistols being upgraded. They do have 2,900 loss bonus at least coming in the next, so they can afford to spend a small bit, but not much. So most likely we're looking at a Movistar Kai 5-1 lead, and well, that has Monte worrying for sure. That's why they're having a little bit of a pause right now to have a chat again, see whether they want to put much into this round, and most likely most of their focus either way being about talking about how they can actually approach this following round once they have the actual weapons. Although now they're going to go for a Hades at the very least, pulls out a mass. I was thinking maybe it was a hero for mass for a moment, but that wouldn't make sense for the AWPer to go for. So yeah, they are fully buying.
I'm going to go on record as saying I'm not a fan of this one. 2,900 loss bonus coming in. That could have been a good buy next round, but clearly feeling the pressure a little bit on the Monte side of things. Aware that they need to have some impact, so they're going to go heavy into this one. 3 FAMAS, 2 MP9s, a handful of utility, no kits again. Won't be looking to retake with this kind of firepower, though. They're going to look surely to take the fight to this T side, although Adam is doing exactly the opposite, charging his way towards Secret. Already caused a slightly swift rotation from Diha and Hades, and well, there's a game of timings to be played here. Hades wants the information. He wants to press up into the AK and does get the better of him. The FAMAS rings out. Big opening kill found by the CT side. Something to work with. Outside control is the target. Counter aggression in through ramp room as well. That MP9 up close. Can't quite find the trade. Mopos deals well with Krasnal and just gets himself into cover. Stiko is watching for this. He's on the angle. It's a little bit labored, but Stadodo's dealt with Diha in the meanwhile. And Monte are just losing numbers here, slowly but surely. Not able to hold on to their lives long enough. And well, Stiko does get one back onto Davigi. There is timings all over the shop here as Mopos deals with Demq. Hades is going to continue his push up through Trophy. And, well, he'll have a fast backstab onto this A site. And with Stiko still here, this starts to get very sketchy. Hades is actually going to clear his way all the way into Hut, which won't be an expected position. 3 T-side players are taking this so slowly. Mopos, surely he's a dead man walking at this point, just as dealt with Hades' teammate. Oh, and Hades can't just onto Mopos, who's having a bit of a pop-off so far. 8-2, his team 5-1. Movistar Koi are flying on their map pick.
Yeah, I do expect Vertigo definitely to be a bit more of a challenge coming up next. It's not a map they play a ton of. I think they have one game on recent record, and that was actually against Ents, and they lost that in, I think it was a quadruple overtime. So it was one that they can definitely put in some decent showings on. The question is how much have they been working on it over the break, especially now with the addition of Dust 2 being a map that they don't really seem to want to play. They might want to try and start adding maps elsewhere, of course. And now though the full focus is still on Nuke, where things are going much better. As you said, Monte are struggling once again with only pistols in play. They could have went for this buy in the previous round, and now been working with the ops and the rifles instead. And not expecting too much to be found, and well, that looks to be the case so far. A little bit of a think onto Adam, but already 2 kills in favor of Kai towards outside. Oh,
okay.
Decent shot.
Hades showing up. Immediately traded, however. And yeah, this round realistically is about that, right? It's moments of individual magic, hoping to get a pick here and there. Keep that T-side economy a little more honest than you have in some of the previous rounds. Cheeky little boost up for Demq. And they are just going to trust this upper site. Hope that, beyond all hope, that Movistar Koi look to end there. I mean, they've got plenty of time on the clock, a minute still left to clear out some of these angles, so no need to be rushing into anything, and they're taking every second. You can understand it. 5-7 up close and personal in Krasnal's hands can do a lot of work, and Demq, well, he's a very solid rifler. He can do a lot of damage with a deagle, so just take your time, clear your angles, wait and see if there's any aggression to be forthcoming. Nothing given up yet. To blow open the squeaky door and just slowly executing their way in towards this site. Demq up in heaven. Potential to get something done with the deagle. A lovely shot to open it up, and that's baiting these rifles right into the crosshairs of Krasnal, although Stadodo is so ready for it. Doesn't even need the AWP. P250 out, 2 clean 1-taps. Job done. 6 rounds already on the board for Movistar Koi. And is it time to start panicking in Piemonte? It does feel like it is.
Yeah, I think they've been panicking for a couple of rounds. That's why they went for that force buy, and it kind of just made things spiral out of control. Now they've taken a bit of a breather with that eco, hopefully coming back onto the guns. They have a chance of turning it towards at least the 5-round half, I think is the goal. They don't want to be dropping more than 1 round. Ideally, they'd like the 6-6 scoreline. Put themselves in a decent spot where taking that pistol round to kick off the second half could give them a bit of breathing room to even get a lead going early on their T side. Otherwise, it really could be a struggle here. We're facing yet another technical timeout, I believe, unfortunately.
We're cursed, Dane.
It was
oh,
a
no,
quick
we're
one.
back.
There we go. We were cursed for the technical timeout, but
I take everything back. We're no longer cursed. Thank you very much.
it's going to count down to 1 and start again.
I mean, I think Monte will be hoping it does. Longer the pause, the less likely they are to lose the next round, right? Up in the hands
Or
of
maybe
Hades.
just delay it.
Delay the inevitable. It does feel that way at the moment, but we need a mental reset from this Monte roster. Something to get them laughing, something to get them feeling positive. That is not it. Davigi flying out onto the upper site. Getting himself half an angle around the smokes. Takes a lot of damage, but gets the kill regardless. And now Diha Locked out by a smoke. It's just spamming away. Krasnal has taken so much damage inside of the site. The HE will finish him off. The heaven rotation from Hades is so labored. And honestly, at this point, I don't think this CT side want anything to do with it. Diha's back of outside. Hades is almost in his own spawn already. And Stiko, yeah, backing away as well. They know that this situation, they're never going to get that A-site retake rolling. They've not even got a kit. And they can't afford, realistically, to be throwing away an AWP and 2 rifles at this point in the game. 7-1 down. Movistar Koi clearly feeling confident. Adam, he's not going to clear his back corner, so we will go down to Diha. There's definitely more fights to be taken, though, and it's just looking so crispy from Movistar Koi again. Clean headshot from Just. Hades will be given a second chance at life, despite going down low, and I mean, if you're Movistar Koi, you've got the money here. The hunt is fully on, and that is exactly what they're going for. Just spamming away at the smokes. Molotov to try and clear the angle. Hades does well, but he's traded down, and Stiko, well, you've got to try and stay alive, bud. End of time. You've got to try and hold on to this. Dododo is even throwing the AWP at it, and the P250 comes out supreme, so they take everything off of Monte. Utter disrespect from Movistar Koi.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he couldn't afford. He had like 12k there as the round ended, so even if he did die, it was like, yeah, whatever, it didn't work out. He would have been buying himself another up. Instead, it works perfectly. He pistols that final player, ensures there's not a single rifle in play here. Maybe you could see a hero rifle being pulled out, but I mean, they're most likely just looking at, again, pistols and some body armor, a little bit of utility to back that up. And they realize how desperate the situation is getting. They've called in their second tactical timeout. Feels like there's been more. They've had more time to chat, definitely, during some of those technicals earlier on, but even with that, they realize how important it is to go ahead and call in that tactical and just try and change something. Not even sure what they should be doing right now. Whenever they've tried to change up the pace themselves, Kai have had a similar change in pace and have managed to somehow punish them. It just feels like they have the perfect reads at the moment.
And they're just buying for the sake of buying now as well. I mean, it's always tough when you make that call to save so early on and you still get all your rifles stripped away from you, but this buy just does not feel viable. 3 MP9, Stiko takes the M4A1, Hades drops down to a Deagle doing his in-game leaderly duties. But so limited on the util. No defuse kits, and let's face it, they're going to need to be retaking. They've not been able to hold on to a site. Movistar smelling a bit of a rat again, playing slowly in the opening engagements. Outside smokes allow Adames to work his way up. Start to clear out their corners, as now it looks like they want to barrel into this A site. And there is some firepower here and available, but it matters not if it's just going to be ripped away by Mopos and Davigi. And I mean, almost all of the buy is gone in an instant. Stiko, it's a fight in vain as he at least manages a kill before he goes down. For Diha, exit. Grab a kill, save a rifle would be fantastic, but the fact they're going to be 8-1 down, and that's what we're talking about, the potential for them in this round, is just a bit savage. Movistar haven't let their foot off the gas at the moment, and you do start to worry that if they can't get a bit of momentum back, this carries into Vertigo. You know, these kind of performances aren't quickly forgotten.
No, not at all. I mean, I was going to say if we were to see a scoreline like this on either of the maps, I was probably expecting it to happen the other way around and on Vertigo. I know Nuke is in a great map for Monte, but I just wasn't expecting them to be quite this flat. I thought with the new firepower that was added in, they'd be scrappy at the very least, trading a few rounds back and forth, which isn't really a recipe necessarily for success on Nuke, but it does avoid scorelines this one-sided usually.
Of course, there is still a few opportunities. We can't write them off just yet. They're only 8-1 down. There's an 8-4 half pistol conversion. You can start to see a world where they do regain a little bit of control over the situation. The problem they've made for themselves is that the buys are going to keep on coming no matter what from Movistar Koi. Good economy across the board. Stadode absolutely flying. So they will just keep on buying and keep piling the pressure on, even if Monte can find a way to break them open. Adam, well, he continues to wreak havoc on outside. D has opted to play much more passively on this occasion, set himself deep into the right-hand corner. Adam's seen him here before, so he should have a decent idea what's coming, and oh my goodness, Diha had the drop, had the kill on a silver platter, and just dropped it clean on the floor. Huge misstep, and those are the kind of kills that just gut you when you're down this bad. the freebies that you can't quite convert. The man advantage now lying with Movistar Koi. And essentially free reign of outside with it. Question is, where do they want to take this one now? They're working their way down towards Secret. Leaving Davigi as a bit of a lurk. Mopos working his way out. A squeaky door gets Demq just to keep them honest on this upper site. And I mean, Stiko's got no idea Davigi is close. He does very well to adjust the crosshairs to get anything at all. Mopos continuing to cause havoc on upper. Finally goes down, and it isn't even 3-on-3. But just able to take out Hades. He had to watch 17 angles at once on that lower site. It was never going to be a recipe for success. And at this point, 2-on-3, no kit, limited util. The financial problems come back to bite Monte again. You know, 3-on-3 with a diffuse kit, maybe you look to give this one a go, but a couple of critical kills go against them and the finances just don't stack up. Save yet again.
Yeah, I mean, they'd just be throwing the weapons away otherwise. They desperately need round wins, but it just isn't going to happen with that clock already ticking away too much, they realized earlier. And at least now we'll have 2 AKs to work with, but at 9-1, is that really going to make all that much of a difference? They're trying to claw back now these final 2 rounds. Not loving their chances here. Even if they do get the final 2 rounds, if they lose the pistol, things are basically done at that point either way. Absolutely no breathing room if they want this comeback to happen.
Timeout 3-3 taken at the very least. A little bit of a mental reset. I mean, we talked about it. We said that's the sort of thing they're going to need. Just to get this out of their heads, quite frankly. I mean, we're running out of things to say about how badly it's going. It really doesn't necessarily feel like Movistar have done anything special either. It's been fairly default hits. They've just been taking heads off. And Monte just haven't really had an answer to it yet. I'd love to see something a bit more proactive, maybe an outside pressure. Haven't really seen a lobby crunch either. We've seen a couple of delayed ideas around it, but never a really solid attempt at it. I'd love to see them try and put a bit of pressure back onto Movistar Koi, because the problem at the moment is they're playing passive. Movistar Koi are happy to wait it out because they know that they can late round execute into a site and win it, because they've won it 9 times at this point. So really feels like we need to change the picture a little bit with Monte, try and just flip the script, come what may. But it's a very similar setup again from the CT side. Diha this time working his way down towards Secret. But other than that, pretty standard. And, well, Movi are doing what Movi do, just grouped up, wait out any opening aggressions, and then start to barrel your way into a player. And that's going to be Stiko. On the ramp, he's got a good angle here. Can't land the first shot, has to retreat away. So again, it's that ramp room control. We've seen this playbook before from Movistar Koi. Question is, will the reaction be any different from Monte?
Not right now, no. No rotations really coming through, just waiting to see where the actual commitment will be found, because they still don't really have any true info other than the fact that they know they've lost ramp.
I tell you what, if they kill Stiko here, it's done.
Yeah. There's absolutely no backup, as we were saying. The closest player back towards the bottom of the secret steps, that's Diha, I believe. He's the one with utility as well. That would actually be quite useful in this position right now if he could put that molly down as the execute starts to come forward. Stiko going to be forced back from the angle, revealing more of his body, and, well, I was going to say leaving him in an awkward spot, but Diha from the doors is there to assist. Mopo's dropping down right into the crosshair of Stiko as a sitting duck. A single trade so far is all that Movistar have managed to find, and they don't have a ton of time. Although with the smokes, they should at least get the bomb down, and they might have done some decent damage if I hadn't put it off the fence. Instead, it's going to be Movistar Koi again who clean up the frags. That rotator up on the top A bomb site, just not expecting the lurk from Adam, and it's all on the Krasnal now. He's not having a fantastic game. Really, no one is on that Monte side of things.
That was tough. Man advantage situation. So the Dodo just decides that this is his turn to pop off. Thank you very much. 9-2. Couple of big kills on the AWP to stop any aggression coming in. Adam does well on the upper side to catch the rotation before he makes his way down. And, well, it's double digits for Movistar Koi. Sitting pretty. As you said, it's nobody really showing up for Monte. I mean, it's a tough place to show up as an individual if the team isn't firing. Nuke, not the kind of map where CT can really take over the equation. But again, it felt very standard. We've seen that round already from Movistar Koi, that take into ramp room, and Monte reacted the exact same way, gave them the presence, but weren't able to hold off as the site hit comes in. So again, you just feel like there's got to be a change up in this CT side. Something aggressive, something proactive, put the pressure back onto Movistar Koi, make them make some decisions that they're not comfortable making. Have to see if that is the case in this one, or if we're going to see much of the same. And well, from Monte, it is a bit more presence towards outside. It is a little bit of a look-in for Hades. Demq to back him up on the FAMAS. Hasn't had his favourite AWP, Hades, as much as he would have liked, but at least they are trying to pile on a little bit of pressure. They are trying to take some map control away. Adam has had his own way outside pretty much this whole half. For the first time, he's being asked some questions. There we go.
Okay, Krasnal actually pushed through the hut, I believe. There, Mopaz hoping he'd follow up on it, so didn't try and immediately get the trade. You did see the wall go down outside at the same time, and there we go. Krasnal had actually stuck around in the hut. That leaves things a little bit exposed now with them Q over towards main, especially with that smoke in place. Hades can't actually see the cross in towards, so he's going to have to try and stand his ground from two different angles, and, well, it doesn't work out. I think they've actually bailed back from the lobby already, but either way now with main open, they can still go back in this direction and, well, maybe punish the ramp at the same time. There we go, as you said. Timing 2 seconds earlier, and Sticko likely has him coming down that ladder. Instead, both of these players left on the A-bomb site. Bomb still not yet fully committed really in any direction. Needs to be brought somewhere soon because there isn't a ton of time. There we go. This is crazy. It's just players going back and forth all over the place, taking fights, and, well, for now they're working for Movistar. But look at the hell.
That is savage. Diha just wanted to rotate to the right side. That's all he wanted to achieve as the bomb goes down lower. All he wanted to do was rotate to the right side. Not allowed, shut out, shut down. Hades is done for. 11-1. Utter dominance from Movistar Koi as we head to the halftime. Well, a half that Monte will want to forget, a half that Movistar Riders will want to finish. Movistar Koi, there you go. That slip of the tongue was always going to come. That Movistar Koi will want to finish in style. 11-1 up. Headed, of course, over to the CT side of Nuke. I mean, you couldn't really write it if you were looking for a better way to shut this one down early. Monte picking up a little bit of util into this one. Molly and a HE. Expect the HE to go towards Squeaky Door and then some kind of Molly to clear out some angles as there it goes. And it will be this fast-paced pop into the upper site, or is it? Round outside the go. Adam, a little awkward and laboured initially, but then the headshots start flying too, and Stododo bailing him out with a third. That's the round done, Dean. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I mean, Adam even was completely unsure of how he managed to get a second kill, especially. But I mean, even the first one was a bit of a struggle, to be honest. He should have been dead. 3 players with Glocks staring him down close to medium range right there. He knew he was doomed, and somehow Movistar Kai took control of the round. 1 casualty now. Maybe there's still a chance here for Demq and Sticko to make something happen, but it's going to be a very, very difficult 2 versus 4 for them, especially with the bomb under the control already of Movistar Kai here. That's why I figured I'd be the one to make that slip up first. You
read my mind. Molly goes out. That's really just rubbing salt in the wounds. That Molly is incredibly unnecessary. 30 seconds left. MQ, he's dropped on by Stododo. It's a little awkward, a little laboured, but the kill comes in regardless. And, well, that really just sums things up for Monte. 12-1. The outside hit demolished at source. What should have been a relatively free kill onto Adam. An angle that's not cleared. A laboured fight that goes against them. And Movistar Koi are not going to let them breathe here. Straight into the rifle, straight into the aggressive firepower. Just has got himself an M4A4. And well, without that bomb plant down, Monte's force buy, it was never going to be pretty. So we've got what? Deagles, Tex. Hades is going to go for the scout to see if he can have some impact. We saw a little bit of magic from it on the CT side. Some good tags for damage, but never quite converting. Kraz now has himself a Mac 10 to try and maybe convert on some of that scout damage. Let's see what they can do. The Eagles go for a wander towards outside early, not spotting too much of anything though. As again, Movistar confident in their setup, I think it's safe to say. Happy just to sit in it, especially hearing those Deagle shots ringing out, knowing the situation. They know this has to be a horse buy for Monte, and they know it's not going to be pretty. Keep the ranged engagements, keep your fights on your terms, and well, very likely this round is as good as done.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Monte are clearly hoping that Movistar Kai are going to be overconfident and are going to get aggressive somewhere, because they were just split out holding on that standard default as many close positions as they could, waiting for someone to just walk into their crosshairs. And Movistar Kai, despite being up 12-1, are thinking, yeah, we really don't need to press the issue right now. Come to us, bro.
And come to them they will. Working their way through Garage now. Deha and Stiko, they've taken a little bit of outside control. Stiko top secret. Deha working his way out of Garage, which does sometimes tend to be a position that's overlooked. But as you said, 40 seconds left on the clock. The util's gone. They've not been given a single pick to even get them into one of these sites, and they know that they're just going to be holding angles here, although Stiko does well, gets one, needed that, as Demq able to trade his death efficiently in the upper site. Well, it's completely abandoned. The CT's read this one wrong. Oh, Stododo playing with fire, walking knife out, lucky to be alive. Knows there's a low HP bar lying around somewhere here, but he just can't quite find it. Deha evading the crosshairs for now. Will surely go down on this. There it is. 3-on-3 for the retake. Hades still on that scout, looking to be the man to make the miracle happen. Stododo, well, he's less convinced. He's wandering around spawn looking for a lineup. Here it comes. Flashbang to go through. Hades working through outside. The timing on this is going to be everything. They're out onto the site. Demq can't get anything. Just finds one, but it's Kraz now to quickly trade, and just low HP inside of the site will go down. Monte find their redemption, or at least the very beginnings of it. A second round on the board and an opportunity to show us what they're made of.
Yeah, it had been pretty smooth sailing so far, so I guess Movistar Kai were a little bit rusty on the teamwork, because that flash in towards heaven didn't go quite as planned, unfortunately. Just then fell down and took a ton more damage as well, put himself on like 8 health instead of the already pretty abysmal 25 he was on, so that 1 versus 2 really wasn't all that winnable for him, unfortunately. But It's 12-2 still, so I don't think they're going to be incredibly worried. They have gone in for the force buy here, which, I mean, fair enough. Otherwise, they would have been pretty much looking at the double eco either way. So they're going to give it a go, see if they can steal this away. If not, they're going to eco Monte a couple of rounds, and obviously Starkai could most likely just focus on the gun round coming out as strong as possible. Savvy G tried to creep around the smoke. Open, I guess that Monte would have left it open. Not too likely.
Yeah,
Should have had his teammate ready alongside him, perhaps.
It's just one of those, isn't it? Stico finding a kill through the smoke. Makes this round a very ugly one indeed. And Monte are aware that if they are even going to dream of a comeback, these kind of rounds have got to be incredibly clean. So not taking any risks whatsoever. Using the util to clear out their angles, not pushing into a site too early. They will look, group up and play as a unit. MQ, Stico and Krasnal wandering out. Nice headshot for one off just, but he can't quite find the adjustment to double it up. And at this point, T-side swarming over the site. 5-7, not where it wanted to be inside of heaven. Could have done with Adam's Deagle, which instead is nestled back site. They've not cleared him out yet. There's a couple of timings in play, and Demq's going to get the better of them. Third on the board. Just the one casualty. Not a bad end result for Monte whatsoever.
No, at the very least, if they can get it as close as possible. I mean, they're still fighting for an overtime here, so it's not going to be easy to get it to an overtime. There's still even more to go after that, so it's basically going to have to be what would have been a 16-0 before. But if they can just build up a few gun rounds, start to look a little bit more confident in their own ability, then at the very least they're heading onto a map where they are much stronger next on Vertigo. So we still have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, a map that Movi have only played once in the last 3 months, although their stats are a bit deceptive. They've not really been playing much at all recently.
Yeah, and I think I was saying that one game against Ends, correct? It went like 3 or 4 overtimes, so it wasn't an easy game, and they only just about did manage to lose it out in the end.
Here comes the lobby crunch, straight through the hut. 3 players charge in, 2 get taken down before Adam can find the headshot, and MQ, he wants a piece of the action, calls his teammate in for assistance, and well, Davaji manages to kill his teammate and get bombed down, which always makes these things a little bit sketchy. Hades on 3 HP, dives on in to make sure that bomb is recovered. Davaji causing a nuisance of himself. As he dives down this vent, though, it should be a free kill and a free round at that point. Diha lies in wait. I think realistically, yeah, it's a smart call here. It feels a little rough because you're 12-3 up. You sort of feel like, why can't I give this a go? But there's rifles on the ground for Stododa to try and recover. Davaji can save himself an AK as well. That'll make this next buy very, very strong as well. Try and get it done early. 13-4. As you said, carry that momentum into what has been a not particularly frequently played Vertigo. As you said, it still ran very, very close against Ents. Let's have a look and see which Ents that was. It's the new one.
Yeah, I was going to say with the new Polish lads.
So, a good roster to be taking that close. So, certainly looking competent on it, if nothing else. We'll have to see if that trend continues post the player break, as Monte just saving a little bit of face here. 4th round chalked up. I think they're going to have to get about 3 or 4 more before we really start considering this a comeback.
I was wondering there if Hades was going to die to the bomb. He was pretty low. Were they trying to body block him, hoping that their bodies would absorb the damage a little bit when they had him in the corner? I'm not sure exactly what the plan was there, but yeah. It's just the hazards of Nuke, unfortunately. You might not always make it away.
Well, here we go. The buy is out. Full rifles. No AWP for Movistar Koi. Still can't afford that, so silver lining perhaps for the T-side of Monte, as Hades will get his in his hands. Where does he look to take it is the question. Looks like early he wants to get up on top of Silo and again try and rain some terror on outside. Nothing really coming through. That's a nice fight for Krasnal though. Takes out the ramp defender in David G. You can see the adjustment already a little laboured. Adam trying to get himself into a bit of a cheeky position here. Normally one that's mollied off, but I think he's hoping because he's so swift, he won't be hard cleared. And indeed, Krasnal comes around that angle a little bit too swiftly. Demq in a good position to trade and will do so. And at this point, this round should be job done. Hades finally gets his lurk kill on the AWP. Mopos and Stododo look to save. And I mean, this is starting to get a little bit of legitimacy now, Dean. It kind of feels like Movi just struggling a little in the 1v1s that they were winning every single time in the first half.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Some awkward sprays, the initial challenge on ramp. They're willing to take these 1v1s because they had gone so well all game, but as Monte wake up, that becomes a much riskier approach for sure. In general, though, on the CT side, Nuke, if you're trying to get aggressive in certain areas, you're going to have to leave somewhere weak, and Monte, they made the correct read in this round to send that player up through the ramp smoke and caught it with a good timing as well. Again, though, a couple of weapons being saved. That does keep happening for the CT side, so they can keep on buying and bringing out pretty decent investments. So the pressure remains on for Monte. It's not really going to lift at any point, at least anytime soon. But I would like to see maybe a tactical pause here. I think we've got a technical for a moment.
Only a brief second. Yeah, I agree.
Especially since they're only buying here because they've got a couple of drops in as well. So if they do lose this and they don't save weapons again, then they are probably looking at an eco. And even with the buy here, a couple of players are probably going to have not quite perfect utility. So I'd like to see a plan in mind there, especially now that they've finally got an op.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely feels like they can't necessarily just rely on the defaults to work in the same way they were on the T side, right? Things have started to go off the rails just a little bit. Spoke about confidence into map 2, and this will be buoying Monte up nicely. So Movistar Koi would do well to shut this one down before it gets too tense. Still plenty of opportunities, of course, to shut the door. And on max loss bonus now as well. So the buys in a couple more rounds, if they get there, will look very, very solid. This one a little more sketchy around the edges. Lacking util. Sododo gets his big green, but his teammate Just has got to go down to an MP9. And well, they're going to try and press the issue outside here. That's a good flash from Krasnal. A little later than you would have liked, but it gets the desired effect. Diha deals with the outside control. And now, almost immediately, you can see the CT side scrambling a little bit. Mopos working his way down into the vents. Stododo on that AWP, just trying to get into a position to have some kind of impact. But Monte have stalled. Played it smart. Just waiting to see if there's any over-aggression before they plan out their execute, which looks to be aimed at that A site, where currently Just is solo. An MP9 in hand. There is an aggression towards the ramp. Stiko lies in wait, expects it. The timing on it is good, though. And Davigi and Stododo combine beautifully. 3 kills, bomb down. Hades knows he's got to get that bomb recovered, and indeed he does. Will be able to get into the A site with Just going down, but there's a lot of timings on the board now. Davigi knows it. Teammate low HP. Diha, nothing he can do. He pops out the vent to his demise. And Hades, what have you got for us? We're in need of a hero here. 1v3 gets the first. There's a couple of isolated fights to potentially be taken here on timing alone, but Mopos' spray will mop up the remaining pieces. 13-5. It is Movistar Koi who find themselves the victory on their map pick and Nuke. I mean, it's a tough one because it kind of, you would have come into this going, that was a fantastic performance by Movistar Koi, really nailed it, looked very, very solid. But that little bit of a let-up at the start of the first half, it kind of takes a bit...
Considering he was one of the players we would have looked to in the past to put up the numbers for this team. So definitely one that we'd hope would still be able to show up big time. And here we go, heading on towards Vertigo, as we said. This should be interesting. Of course, the choice of sides does go towards Kai.
Got to imagine they'll go CT.
That's what I was thinking, and well, yeah, that is the case. There we go. So taking the safe approach, and I mean, things were working out incredibly well for them back on Nuke, but obviously it did get a little bit shaky then in that second half. So if the pistol round goes south for them here, things maybe could get a little bit interesting.
Monte have got a decent idea for this pistol as well, picking up a smoke, a flashbang. They've got some kind of plan in place. So far, just waiting out, seeing if there is going to be any aggression forthcoming. Movistar not really willing to give it. Davigi playing this new angle where you're exposed to the catwalk and through yellow, scaff, whatever you want to call it. Opts for the Molotov to try and buy himself a little bit of stalling time, and it's going to be needed here. 4 players for the T side queuing up. Question really becomes, will David have time to get that molly out before things get hectic? There it goes, but Stiko's clean through it. He wants to take the fight into this site. They all do. Krasnal deals with one. Mopos can't get any more. And now the rotations are stunted. Stadodo trades the death at the very least, but Just is so isolated inside of this site. In fact, he's lost all his teammates and he's lost the round as well. That's more like it from Monte. A little bit of pace, a little bit of aggression, and a well-planned hit into the B-bomb site.
Yeah, and I think one of the things was everything was working so well on Nuke from obviously Arcade that they never really had to take any risks. They didn't have to make any adjustments. It was always kind of just smooth sailing, and that can get you into not necessarily a complacent place, but it just doesn't challenge you very much. So by the time that maybe your opponents do start to wake up a bit, as Monte are now, maybe you're cooling off a bit yourself. And when it comes to the flashes and such, even we've seen things kind of going south in that regard back at the end of Nuke, where their team play wasn't quite perfect. I do like this push down the steps, though. They're likely going to find two players, unfortunately. They had Diha alone here, then that likely would have been stolen. Instead, the Galils destroyed him. 1 second, I do need to get my light back on here.
That's a demolition job, and that's about what's expected, right? I mean, as you said, if you're lucky enough to run into an isolated player, then maybe you do get a kill, maybe you do get something going, you save a rifle, hello again. But if you're running into a double, especially with the Galils, I mean, there's 70 bullets between the two of them. It's just a slaughter. There's nothing more than that to be said, and now things get a little interesting. Now we start to see, okay, Movistar Koi, first buy's up, the rifles are out. What is the game plan here? It's a strong buy from Monte as well. Didn't really take too many risks in the previous round, which is understandable given how the series has been going for them so far. So they've got their hands on 3 Galils, 2 AKs, and just looking to bleed out a little bit of that Movistar util initially. Holding off the angles, only now working their way towards the stairs and to have a little bit of a peer into B. Mopos spotted out there, a little bit sketchy. The HEs come in, do a ton of damage onto him as he looks to escape as well. That's a really nice set play from Monte. And they're getting a lot of change out of this B site at the moment. Molotov forces just into no man's land, and a low HP bar for Mopos fully blinded means it's done. The B site is taken, and, well, the CTs have got a big decision to make here, because, I mean, look at the likes of Stiko lurking. He's in mid. Demq's holding for anything down the ramp, and this feels like it's unrecoverable, and, well, they agree with me.
Yeah, I mean, without the kit and with no real utility bar, single flash and 2 smokes, I have to agree. If they had a couple mollies, maybe to try and flush them out of position, maybe it would have been worth giving a go. But instead, 4 rifles, they'll be able to buy up utility behind them, get a little drop into Mopos as well, so he has something to work with at the very least, and it'll give them a decent enough chance in this next round to try and come alive soon. They don't want to end up putting their economy in a position like Monte did back on Nuke, which is what allowed for the initial kind of 5-1 spiral in terms of the scoreline.
Well, I mean, you know, we talked about momentum carrying through from Nuke. I think Monte have clearly done a good job of resetting. Really nice set play onto that B-bomb site. I think that's the first time I've really seen there be a consequence, a significant consequence, I'll say, to the new nade sounds, because they will have known that both of those nades hit, right, based on sound cues alone. And from there, we'll have been able to go, right, well, we're just going to barrel into this site because we know there's a low HP bar here somewhere. Well taken advantage of, and we go again with Movistar Koi, of course, saving across, so they're able to buy into the next. And that really has been a theme from their CT sides, is just trying to keep yourself constantly in a position to buy as much as possible, not taking the risks on sort of 50-50 or lower rounds, only playing the percentages. So this time again, Monte just probing that B site, and they want it again. It's going to be another fast-paced play. Mopos again is caught out in no man's land, just does very well backside to get himself a double. Drops the smoke to facilitate his escape as well. It's a really nice individual play. Mopos caught with nades out, felt like it was going to be extremely difficult to recover from, but Justice still flirting around the edges of his smoke. Bomb dropped back by Hades, so he's not necessarily wanting to commit the bomb to these angles just yet. He's allowing for a bit of time, maybe for Stiko to work his way out mid and see if he can find a little bit of a timing and get something cheeky going. Hades going to play around the smokes as well. Just, I don't think he saw the shoulder there, so Hades is going to get himself a freebie and double it up as well. Just looking the wrong way. The communication severed by Hades. As he takes the B site in style, Stiko does what he needs to do, catches the rotation, and what was a very promising situation falls apart for Movistar Koi.
Yeah, I think they had like purposely sent one of the players running back towards the steps, and then he was shooting from the steps. I thought that was all kind of the game plan to make them think that around the smoke was clear up until they dropped the bomb. But even then, I don't think they heard the bomb being dropped back in return. So it seemed like they were pretty unaware he was up close. Even then, the peek from the back at the generators, I thought he spotted him for a moment until, of course, he didn't look again and just kind of had his attention fully on the connector there in towards middle. Hades was just able to make the best there of what was a pretty difficult situation. Adam left saving, and a 4th round already for Monte. They are taking control of the early stages here of Vertigo. I had said early on Nuke that if I thought one map was going to be one-sided, it was potentially this Vertigo. Maybe we're going to get a couple of one-sided maps back and forth, and perhaps a closer decider on Anubis, I believe it is. Anubis, you know, we didn't actually discuss that one a ton. That is somewhere where both of these teams are a bit more middle ground. They don't play it a lot, but they've got okay results when they do. And, well, it would be an interesting decider if we get that far.
I think it's one of those where we didn't want to talk about it because it felt like we weren't going to get there, but now we can start to maybe think about having the conversation. It's still there for Movistar. It's still, early days. It's only 4-0. And they do still have the rifles in hand. It just feels very one-sided at the moment. It's not like it's 4-0 and there's been close rounds and close opportunities. Monte have had a game plan. They've hit that B site time and again. And as of yet, Movistar Koi have not been able to defend it. This time they're going to send Stadodo solo. Try and be the man of the hour. Post it up on the AWP. And they're going to go for something very cheeky here. The triple boost to get Daviji into an angle where he can potentially have some impact is a brave call because we've not really seen Monte press the A-bomb site yet. And to commit this kind of firepower to hanging around it, I mean, you can see Stadodo on the minimap. He's having to commit back to mid, drop util there to buy time, then he's having to push back out onto B to hold the angles. And for now, at least, the T side of Monte do not look even the remotest bit interested in working their way up the ramp and into that 3-man stack. They're instead looping the bomb back towards B, starting to put some pressure back on Stadodo. And yeah, you look at the minimap, they're all headed that way, and Movistar Koi have just made the wrong call at the wrong time. It's going to be on Stadodo to really be the hero here. 58 seconds left on the clock. Mopos is just about starting to think about a rotation, but it's all Stadodo. Nice Molotov timing. Buys him a little bit of space at least. He's got a smoke to try and hold this one off as here comes the execute. We've seen this 4 times pretty much on the trot from Monte. An initial leg shot from Stadodo, but he's going to need a lot more than that. Flashes ringing out over the top. He's blind as can be. Does very well to get one. Smoke goes down as Mopos takes advantage of his leg shot through it. A dink through the wall won't deter the FAMAS as he flies through for 2 more. And finally, it's Mopos and Movistar Riders who are getting themselves on the board. A big hold of the B-bomb site.
And the flash assists coming through as well. That's what you expect from Movistar. Stadodo does a great job initially. Maybe put that molly a bit deep. I don't think it landed quite as you'd expected. But it did at the very least stop them from trying to boost the player up close. So he had that one angle towards the steps. Didn't quite get the kill, sure, but done the damage. Delayed them. Managed to avoid the flashbangs and just stay alive. And of course even get himself the frags afterwards. Great work on the retake with the flashes over from, I believe it was Adam, which just left the final 3 players completely up for the taking. That's the teamwork you expect from the boys here on the CT side. Can they keep it up is the question, because the economy's still there. Even after this round, there's still going to be another buy for Monte. So Movistar Koi really do need to take control and find a few rounds on the run.
Dangerous position this. Yeah. Nice shot, but he's close. Krasnow's not going to press the issue. Allows Stadodo the relatively free escape, and since he's had that big green in his hands, he has found a lot of impact. Problem is, again, they're trying this triple boost, and thus far, Monte have had no interest in the A site, so it's a bit of a call out of nowhere to stack so much of your presence in an area that's not been tested whatsoever, and we're seeing it again, this time with a bit of a mid take into the B. Util comes out and they do disassemble this boost. They do start to think, you know, how many times has this been B? Maybe it's going to be B again, and it is indeed Diha. The double kill on the rotations just does well to get one, but he's lost his teammates in the meanwhile. Dodo has done what he can. He's hit the leg shot through the first man. And well, oh, that is very brave indeed from Mopos. A big clutch out of the big man. That's 2 huge holds of the B-bomb site. And Movistar Koi, they are living incredibly dangerously right now, Doom.
Yeah, no, I love the way Mopo's done that there. Played perfectly with the flash to jump around onto the thing, which just isn't expected because who's crazy enough to do it? Mopo's apparently. And I mean, they just about edge out that second round. I don't think that's how they wanted to do it, though. As you said, that stack was a heavy commitment. I think they specifically posted Auto aggressive on mid, though, so once he gets that pick, I think the presumption from Monte is that there's probably backup up close playing maybe anti-flash close on the boxes, and that's what perhaps slowed Krasnal down and allowed for them to kind of sit with that A stack a little bit longer, and probably hoping to base someone up the ramp into it at the same time. Didn't quite play out like that, but they did get the round win in the end either way, and they again converted into another though because they haven't built up any economy at all. A round win right now would, or a round win from Monte right now would leave Movistar Kai in the worst position possible, and well, the peaks down ramp alongside the nades and flashes are pretty much perfect. Hades returns 1, but that's not going to be enough. It's a man advantage sitting with the CT side.
That's what we expect from Movistar Koi. Nice util, nice team play, converting into nice kills. Problem is, their CT side, they've really not had the read on what Monte want to do so far. They are rotating all over the shop. Justin, Adam looking to try and lock down this A site with the new angles, of course. Adam feels a little bit vulnerable falling back, so instead opts to play on the angle itself. Molotov brought out by the T side will start to put him under a little bit more pressure. CT smoke starting to go out. They know they've got to try and stall for time here. Mopos is thinking about a flanking mission, but it's a game of timings, and Stiko, well, he's got the better of it. Just no idea that his man could be so close. And now Adam, well, he's playing with fire. He's got to do it all, and he's managed to do very well. Finds the kill, drops the bomb, retreats on out. Hades not able to connect his shot, and that has bought time for this flank. Hades aware of it, though, and now the Orpa with a big kill to find. Can't make it happen. All on Diha in the 1v3. Adam is low HP, but crouched on an off angle. He will be able to find the conversion. And Movistar Koi, well, they are finding their feet. They are starting to win their fights, and they're starting to stitch this one together.
All right, maybe now you start getting a little bit worried for Monte. After all, their nuke T-side was quite flat, to put it nicely, I would say. So if they hit a bit of a wall here and start slowing down on Vertigo, especially with only 4 rounds on the board so far, that could be a problem for them. Well, at least 1 or 2 more to give themselves a semi-comfortable position at the halftime. Moment anyway, 1 hero AK to work with, some Deagles, 1 flash in Hades, perhaps to be the best placed flash we've ever seen. Let's see what call he's made. Towards the B steps.
It's got to be B. B is the site they've had by far the most success on, just this time,
I think expecting the op though, right? And obviously Movistar are thinking, well, it's probably finally a bit of an eco going, so they actually did position just with the M4 instead. But he gets a bit over-aggressive after that initial kill. He was like, oh, that was only a pistol, 3 eco kills.
And now the bomb's actually going to back out of this situation a bit, knowing there's no necessity to commit now. Just reset things. Stiko playing close to the smoke again. This time, a lovely adjustment from Mopos, who you have to say is flying here on Vertigo. 10 kills. Continuing his reign of terror. It's one of the standout performers on map 1 as well. So, Demq picks up the rifle. Look to see if he can have some impact. Just at this point, about the financial damage of it, they went for the hero, and they've got a kill out of it, but realistically, 2-3 would be what they're after. Demq takes a leg from the AWP, dropped across to Mopos, but the low HP bar will betray him regardless. Nice double peak timing here. Could do a lot of damage. Hades perhaps able to bait Demq in, get him spraying that AK down, and well, that's what they try and go for, but it's not going to land. Dodo and Adam able to combine nicely. 4th round on the board, everything leveled up. 3 players kept alive again, so the economy not in the worst place in the world for Movistar Koi, and they're doing a very solid job, you have to say, of recovering the CT side. Starting to feel a lot more like map 1.
Yeah, at the very least, though, Monte have the security of having a few rounds on the board. grind out 1 or 2 more. They're not in the worst position, but yeah, Movistar really have taken control for themselves. If they can come out with the 8-4 half especially, they will be sitting pretty and heading towards that 2-0, which Monte do not want to let happen.
Faster pace.
Yeah, straight up the ramp. Is functioning as a bit of an entry fragger, which can make his stats not being as strong as you'd hope a bit more forgivable, especially against a team like Movistar who are constantly dropping those nades. Hadn't even found contact and is already on 25 health. A warning shot from the op to keep him at bay, but for now he's still pressing the issue, hoping to at least take someone to the grave with him, but it doesn't happen. Dodo takes that kill in sync with Adam, who's able to get one elsewhere, I believe, on the player trying to creep around the alley. And suddenly it's a 4-on-3. Okay, they're still aggressing. This is risky. It works out for them, sure. But I don't think it was all that necessary. Either way, imposing their will goes their way. Stinko's left alone on the lurk, and well, the opper's already spotting mid, so he just saunders directly into the crosshair. 5-4, it's Movistar Kai in the lead, and I wasn't expecting this to happen too soon.
No, that round felt a little bit tough to bear. Monte wanted to up the pace, and that's understandable. Hadn't worked out for them previously, but the util is always going to be good from Movistar. Koi was good again. Couple of nice shots, and as you said, then perhaps getting a bit overly keen in the mid-round, but combining it nicely, peaking as units, not going for those isolated 1v1s, and therefore able to trade it down nice and efficiently, force Monte back onto the half-buy again, and got to imagine they want to try something a little bit quick here, considering there's 4 Tech 9s on board. Look to isolate a fight, and Dodo may be the man to try and be pressed here. They've seen this angle from him once before last round. Stiko knows exactly where to look for it. Question is, how much can they get done? It's a much more standard setup for Movistar Koi. None of this triple boosting nonsense, as Dodo does manage to open up. Nice util dropped. Molotov just to slow things down, allow for those HEs to fly in, and indeed they do. Demq does well though, and Diha combines with another to open up this B-bomb site entirely. There's rifles recoverable, and it's a 2v3 retake for the CT side. Diha just rethinks the bomb plant for a second. Wants to give himself and Demq the best possible chance as they work their way to white box. And indeed work their way to clear the stairs. They're going to go for something a little bit cheeky here. Boost over the top of white box. It's not something you see every day. Won't be an angle that Movistar Koi are expecting, but they have to fall off it. Doesn't work for a few seconds. They go for the reset. Util comes out. Nice HE's going in. Dodo is looking to fly in and enable his teammates as his util drops out onto the site. Smoke on the bomb. D has spotted out. Demq, still a relative unknown, is traded 1-for-1, and now they're going to stick it. Dodo trying to stay on that bomb as long as he can. The time is awful low, and they do fluff their lines just a little bit there. Adam has got the kit, and he's just about got enough time. Very nearly goes wrong against the half-buy, but Dodo and Adam are able to get their lines sorted, pick who's going to defuse and stick the damn thing. They get their 6th on the board, and, well, this is now a solid CT side for Movistar Koi, considering how little they played this map.
Yeah, I think Dodo might have taken like 1 bullet when he was on it and decided to hop off, see if he could peek around the box instead, but obviously in sync at that time. Adam managed to find the kill, and they're both thinking, shit, there's, excuse my language, there's not much time left. Better go ahead and hop right onto this, and yeah, it nearly cost them. 1 less second on the bomb, and that might have been it. Didn't mean to drop that word there. It happens.
Sometimes you just got to, ain't you? Nice nade, David G. I hadn't noticed it yet, but he's 0-7. He's having a rough old time of it.
Considering his teammates have now managed about 5 rounds in a row, pretty much without him, that is impressive.
Yeah.
I'd imagine he's still being of assistance in terms of nades and such. But yeah, if he could start fragging, that would be what they need to really start running away with the scoreline. I don't think Monte want that to happen.
Monte playing nice and slowly here as well. Just waiting to see if there is any over-aggression. Using their util to clear out their angles, and well, there is peaks starting to come in. Mopos wants to clear out mid as the rest of this T side start to work their way up the ramp. Stiko has lurked here time and again, and he's played such a nice off angle here. Mopos will likely think he's cleared this all the way through. Adam does get 1, and the timing on that from Stiko couldn't be worse. The drop will be heard as well. Mopos screaming this information across to his teammates with 40 seconds left on the clock. That bomb trying to work its way up the ramp. Here's Mopos on that backstab, and his timing, well, it may well seal the round here. Hades is going to be looking completely the wrong way. It's a laboured old spray, but now he knows he's just got to stay alive. Goes for a swing that wasn't required, and Krasnal deals with David G to make this just that little bit more awkward. Front of the smoke, Adam doesn't finish his meal, and now 2v3. Now this starts to get ugly. There is low HP bars, there's damage to play with, but there is smokes all over the shop, gaps everywhere. Stiko looking to nail this bomb down, not spotted in the spray down. Now he can look to isolate the fight, but can't quite find it. Stododo onto that P250. We've seen him do this time and again. He doesn't know where Stiko is, and that new catwalk is going to play to his advantage beautifully. Looking for the backstab here, looking to lock it out. Stododo kills his teammate, but the P250 is out again from the AWPer. Trades it to perfection. A 7th on the board for Movistar Koi. And they are finding their feet fantastically on Vertigo. That team play that we talked about in the pre-show, that is coming to the fore.
Yeah, and I'm liking how this how the bomb site's playing out as well. With all the changes, I haven't been covering much Vertigo, to be honest. The extra opening, even just out from the spawn area, as well as that catwalk, it gives a lot more variety, really, to how it plays out, both in terms of the executes and the retakes. You always knew what to expect before. Now there's a few angles that might catch players off guard, as we just seen right there. Let's see whether Monte can catch us off guard and take a 5th round, because this is getting desperate. They've been sitting on 4 for a bit too long now. This is not where they wanted the half to end. Early nades from Movistar Kai, expecting quick plays from Monte, clearly putting down a lot of that utility in the opening seconds and finding some success, at least over towards this B-bomb site. Opos might have another in his crosshair soon, although I was about to say he doesn't even have a weapon in his hands, which could have been dangerous. Instead, it's up against over at the ramp, I believe, where the kills do come true. Mopos just barrels down the stairs. Asnal not quite ready for it.
Oh, the disrespect. Lovely flashbang in, and the kills, they've just been going scattered across the map, but they've been going the way of Movistar Koi. An initial trade on the A ramp as well while that was all going on. Has left Stiko and Hades to try and recover. 2v4 situation. I mean, we said we wanted Hades to step up. He's been a bit quiet so far. Would be a big round for him to try and find a little bit of magic. Can he connect with his teammate, though? Timing a little awkward for Davigi. 0-9, really not having the series he would have hoped for. And that does open up these opportunities now. Stiko is still waiting for Mopos to get aggressive. He's desperate for Mopos to just push that little bit too far and walk into his crosshairs. But Mopos, he's been here. He's played these games. He's set himself up on the most off angles here. And should just be a matter of timing to get the freebie, or will it? They look at each other, neither sure what to do, and the reaction goes Stiko's way. A big shot lands, and that'll be bombed down. Molotov to try and push him off it, but he's going to stick, and inside the flames he will go down. Just deals with Hades. And what could have been a little bit of a sketchy end to things ends up being a dominant performance. 8-4 Movistar Koi as we head to the halftime break. Monte with their backs against the ropes here. 8-4 down on their map pick. 1-0 down in the series. A pistol could be inspirational. It could be just what they need to catapult themselves back into it. And that's exactly what they need to do here. Can't afford to be slipping up. Movistar buying heavily into this one. The util is everywhere. 4 flashes and a smoke grenade. They are going to go fast wherever they go. They're going to flash themselves out. It's going to be the B-bomb site, and here we go. Nobody really home for the CT side, so the site will be conceded initially, but they are fast on the retake, and Diha through top of the smoke is looking to press the issue early. Stiko with a lovely headshot, make it a double, make it a triple, Stiko. Welcome back to the server. That's the round, and that's exactly what Monte wanted.
Crisp as well as he moved in. Swift shots landing. Stododo doesn't even have a choice other than to just back away. Not even saving Kevlar forward, just saving his life at this point. There was no point throwing himself to the wolves. Still an 8-5 scoreline. They do get the bomb down. I'd like to see them just take the full eco here and focus on getting the guns out as early as possible, because we've seen whenever they come alive, Monte have a tough time stopping them.
Oh.
No, they're going to go for it though. I mean, same mindset kind of, I suppose. Yeah. Flip it on its head. If you believe in them even more than I do, perhaps you think they can win it with the weaker weapons. I would just like to see them play it a bit safer. This was how we seen things kind of fall apart for Monte on the first map. They kept pressing the issue.
That's a good point. We'll have to see if Movistar Koi can make anything different from it. It's not a bad buy by any means. I think David G having the only Lil is definitely a brave decision.
Yeah.
But 2 Mac-10s, a tech, a Deagle in support of it. Stiko again, just playing the off angle. Not wanting to give his life away. There's the swing from him. Dinks exchanged. He gets out better. HE's exchanged to follow up, and he gets out better again. What's the idea here for Movistar Koi? A little bit of a prod in towards mid. Now a couple of players looking to test the A ramp, but at range, Hades and DemQ will fancy their chances, so instead we'll double back. Will look to be a little cheeky over towards B, perhaps in the knowledge that we have dinked Stiko up, and he will be the rotate into this B site early. So as Krasnal picks up mid, there is potentially a low HP bar to be abused, but DemQ has got the better of Mopos, and that opens things up now. A boost up to try and get a bit of an angle, but all the while the CT side are pressing the A site. They're understanding that there's nobody home and allowing for the rotation to come through. 40 seconds. There will be an execute to plan this one out. The util goes over the top. They know what's coming now. Davaji up close and personal. Up here early, but Stiko's got his teammates back. Another huge kill as Diha combines. Stododo takes out his own teammates, and it's a demolition job. Lovely stuff from Monte, and their CT side is starting to click.
Yeah, that went pretty much as expected. Now it's an eco, a 7th round on the board for Monte, and if they win out the next gun round, at that point they're probably even taking the lead for themselves. So it just... I would have liked to have seen that eco earlier on from Movistar. Instead, they've got to take it now. They'll be coming out with a decent enough buy in the next round, sure. But as I said, there's going to be so much on the line. They might even be giving away their lead if it doesn't work out for them. So let's see, a couple of kills maybe here. Try and do a little bit of damage. The economy at the very least isn't amazing, even with all 5 players surviving there for Monte, because they had to buy up so much in terms of the utility. So if they could at least make this costly, there will be some positives to take away. They have got the few pistols to try and do so.
It feels like it's completely set up for a pop, right? Tech 9s everywhere. Just get in their faces with a bit of utility you've been able to scrounge. And here we go. Nades in the air. Just trying to press the issue a little bit. There's the fight in mid. Just does well. 1-for-1 trade. They'll take that. But DemQ is in a great position to try and lock this one out before he gets too sketchy. His teammate there to back him up when he goes down low. And despite the dinks coming in, there's no conversions yet. Mopos does look to change that picture a little bit, but the spam through the smoke will be better from a rifle than a pistol every day of the week. So only a couple of kills found. The reinvestment not going to do too much to dent the finances of Monte. And Movistar Koi, well, it's starting to get to that stage again. We said it in the first half. You've got to start showing up sooner rather than later. And these AKs in their hands have got to have some impact.
Yeah, right here, right now. Otherwise, it's going to get real scary for Movistar Koi. We've seen them come alive a couple of times, but honestly, their T-sides haven't been tested all that much. So that is still something we have to be worried about, especially on a map that they don't play a ton of. Yeah, with a very aggressive stance down on B. Movistar in the meantime more control over towards ramp, as you can see. What the hell? I said a very aggressive stance on B, but I didn't expect them to go charging through the smoke. hands the kill over to Just, a tiny bit of nade damage in return, and a little bit of spam damage over towards the ramp as well and towards Mopuz. They're still not in a great position in this 4-on-5. Monte probably want to try and press the issue somewhere.
Yeah, where do you do it, though? That's your problem now. You've abandoned your mid control. Movistar Koi are working their way into an A-site execute as we speak. How much have you realistically got to stop this? Nice HE's going in. Mopos is down desperately low, so there's plenty of low HP bars to take advantage of. Hades does very well for one, but Just and Adam combine on the spray downs, and that should be job done. They're so tempted to give this a try here, the CT side. They know how low the health is, but they just can't justify it. The situation does not allow them to, and Demq and Sticko will just slowly back away from the situation, concede defeat, and once again, it's the same old story for Movistar Koi. Those initial rounds are sketchy, but they get their rifles, they get their executes, and things just start to click. They just start to combine together. 4 players kept alive as well. If they can dodge the bomb, will be absolutely huge. Give them a fantastic leg up financially moving forwards. Oh, 2 go down to bomb, though. That's tough.
I'd say Mopuz was 2 health right there, so he was certainly dying, but I think Adam could have got away. Davey G still having a shocker of a game right now.
Can he be the hero? The villain to hero arc is there. He's sitting there waiting for him. Question is, can Monte continue to be the bane of his existence, and can they continue to find impact? Hades has got his AWP out. He looks to change the game.
Got everything they need on the CT side to just come right back in with a round. Although they don't have the economy if this one doesn't work out for them, so there's a lot on the line right now. Mopuz leading the way with a Galil, not the best weapon to do so. Actually finds the dink on the Hades. Got the AK there, they'd be sitting with a man advantage already.
They like to send him out on those exploratory missions, and you can't blame him. 16 and 11. Doing fantastic work so far. Diha stepping in the flames for a little while, takes some damage. Him and Sticko to hold down this B bomb site, which is going to be targeted early here. They're creeping right into it. One scene. They haven't isolated him yet, and the counter flashes from the CT side are good, but Adam finds his kill, and now it is just on Sticko. He's got it all to do. A laboured spray won't connect in the way he wants it to, and now he knows he's got to try and make up for it, but he's running out of bullets. Trying to bait his teammate into the angle. Krasnow finally gets the kill, and now they're on for it. Just gets one, but Krasnow flies in with a triple and opens up this site. 2-on-3, Just and Stododo. Stododo not on his favourite AWP either, makes this very tough, and Just was just not aware of the angles. Demq gets his man. Stododo is left to try and clutch up. There's a lot of low HP bars, but at the same time, there's AWPs, there's rifles, there's all sorts, although the spray connects too. He's not heard Demq on this bomb, and the ninja will come through. That is heartbreaking for Stododo. The chaos plays into Demq's hands. 8-9. This one is going right down to the wire, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything he could right there, but as you said, with just the chaos and the focus on the initial 2 players that are charging him, he doesn't know whether that bomb is being stuck or not, and at that point you kind of have to take the gamble that it's not being. Just at about allows Monte to edge out the 8th round. Movistar Kai did still have some loss bonus going, at least for themselves, on top of the bomb plant, so they can just about scrape out a buy. But again, there's a Galil in there, it's not quite perfect. They're not getting the ops as they'd want to on Stododo either, and well, you can see that Movistar Kai are clearly a little bit worried about how close this scoreline has gotten, considering they've used up their 2nd tactical pause.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the chaos has started to benefit Monte, right? Like that retake situation, normally you'd back Movistar Koi to trade that one down. But instead, it's Krasnow coming up with a big triple kill, catching a couple players off guard. The low HP bar's taken advantage of. And at 8-9, as you said, the investment isn't perfect. And if it goes wrong for Movistar Koi, 2,900 loss bonus, it's a half buy into the next. It's Monte taking the lead. And that pressure continuing to mount. They want this fight early. Good damage onto Hades again, but once more, just not quite able to finish their food. Mopos taking a ton of util damage on top. He's got to be so careful here. He's been such a shining light for Movistar Koi so far. Doesn't want to go down through a smoke early. So they'll reset things. Just trying to put a little bit of pressure on that A ramp. take some control away from the CT side, and that they do. Monte look to evacuate.
Oh,
Krasnal.
I was going to say they're focused on getting his ramp control, just put the smoke down somehow. Caught himself the kill, I think, around the edge of it here. He's going to remain pretty aggressive also. And obviously they kind of have all their eggs in one basket right now, right? 3 players just directly over towards ramp. There's quick enough rotations that can come in from mid as well. They don't have a ton of utility. There's already one player aggressive still up towards the alley here that they're going to have to deal with as well, potentially even on a backstab.
I love this angle from Hades. Never going to be expected. The aggression comes in, just does get one, but there's Demq's kill, and Hades just stays alive. Just knows he's just got to occupy this angle now. On plant to come in. There's Hades with the kill. He's looking to hunt the planter down and will do exactly that. Lovely stuff. Job done. Monte mopping up the kills. And Movistar Koi, are they starting to run out of ideas on this T side? It certainly feels that way.
Yeah, as we had said, we hadn't really seen them being challenged on the T side so far, so it was a little bit of a worry for us, and especially now that their economy is just consistently bouncing back and forth between just barely manageable and not quite enough. It's really not a good spot to be in. Monte should be finding a 10th for themselves, and another gun round or two could very quickly bring them over the finish line to set us onto Anubis. Some Tech 9s, a Mac 10. A little bit of utility, so they might have an execute in mind at least as they make their way up the ladder towards mid. Is it going to be an A split?
They've had some success here previously. Been able to trade out a kill or so, but in need of something a little bit special. Nice flashbang. Stico is on such a promising angle here, and they don't clear it at all. It's all too easy. Triple kill, job done. Right the round off. Mopos able to grab at least one. It's a consolation kill, though. As Just is trying to work his way up, hoping to be cheeky with it. Hades is lying in wait. Easy stuff. And I think David G is going to start to feel the pressure now, as Mopos is clearly feeling it as well. 0-16. You got to say it, if he's getting 10 kills, this game's over.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even need to be fragging crazy by any means. Just a few kills here and there probably would have made the difference. A couple of those crucial gun rounds. It's unfortunate. It happens, though. I don't think he played bad on the first map either. I think he was playing pretty well.
No, he didn't at all. Can he pick himself up is the question.
Yeah, even if they do drop this map, the series won't be over, so we'll still have time, as you said, to make up for it. Try and find form again. Nearly getting the kill onto Hades as he fell back. I mean, we're talking about the next map, but he could still come alive now and perhaps be the difference maker to start tallying up these final few rounds that they've been looking for quite a while.
I think that's 3 rounds on the trot that Hades has been brought down to essentially no health and got away with it. Monte are really riding their luck at the moment. Able to get away with it again, though, and it is their AWPer after all, so those low HP bars, they don't matter quite so much. What's the idea from Movistar Koi? Flashed off their angle first. Smokes come in. They just want to group up this A ramp. Feels like the A site is the end goal because they've not got anyone anywhere else. And look at Monte, they're starting to read into it. Diha, having seen that there's no one down the stairway, has worked his way into mid. A 4th rotation has come out towards A. Stico is fast on the flank. This is looking so good for Monte. It's going to take a hero play from someone from Movistar Koi. You have to say it. Somebody has to step up here, and Stico, he is timing this. Just is here, but how much longer can he afford to hold the angle? Just about long enough. Deals with Stico. Now the CT side have got a decision to make. Do they gamble the A site? Do they make the rotation and try and hold on to B? Diha has gone, but only the one has left. There is still so much presence on this A site. Krasnal is waiting for this exact smoke play, and he gets Mopos through it. The star is gone. Demq takes another to the grave. Davigi doing what he can, has finally opened his account and does one better. Double kill, 6 seconds, 5. Demq just has to deny the bomb, but he doesn't. The plant goes down. It matters not. A quad kill from Demq means 11 and may well mean redemption for Monte.
And Demke was actually the one who had a pretty weak first map as well, or one of the players. Obviously, things weren't going too well in general for Monte, considering it was such a one-sided scoreline, but he was having a bit of a rough game, so to see him come alive here on Vertigo as well has been fantastic. Everyone really is fragging. Sticko's had some amazing rounds. He's just been solid in positions when he's entrusted alone to ensure he doesn't get overwhelmed, as we had seen around mid, for example. He's always a fun player to watch. 11-9. The final tactical pause being pulled out here from Movistar Kai, and this could be their final gun round as well, really. If they lose this, they'll need at least a bomb plant to just about scrape together by in the next round, and then it wouldn't be fantastic. VG gets his AK out again, full nades. Dodo stuck on a Galil. I wouldn't mind if maybe Davig was willing to do a little bit of a trade right there. Dodo's been playing fairly well.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I don't even know what to say about Movistar Koi. It just feels like they're getting caught in the chaos a little bit. Again, big individual plays from Monte. It's what we asked of them. MQ delivering, Stiko delivering, Krasnal up there. Movistar Koi just at the moment don't seem to be able to stitch together the team play that we saw from them in map 1 to get it done. Hades on the AWP. I mean, that's just a free angle for Stiko, and the trade is there. It's a little laboured, but this time it comes through, and Davig, well, he started to open his account in a big way. A double kill in the previous round. This time, he's dealt with the AWP early, but Mopos' position is read to a T, and Demq, well, he's really turned into the star of the show in his own right. The timing from Krasnal is atrocious, and Stododo gets the better of it. This has to be converted now. 3-on-2. Diha and Demq, I mean, if it's two players you'd want in the server to try and stitch this one together, it would be them. They've got the util as well. What do Movistar look to do? Just is toying with a probe towards the B bomb site, and at the moment, Demq and Diha are both on A. How long will they wait there? How long before they start to think we need to be on the other side? We need to make the rotation count. And that is the question. You can see Diha on the minimap. He's thinking about it. He's shifting between his angles. He's looking towards mid, peering to see if anything will be given over to him. And as soon as this util goes out, they'll know the game is up. Smoke goes down. Decision time for the CT side. They've got the money to give this a try if they want to. And why wouldn't they? They have been in so many retake positions and they have made so many of them stick. Demq and Diha. Demq timing as he looks to go over is ugly, and Davig continues to reign his terror. Two double kills in 2 rounds, in fact, as Diha looks for the 1v3. He's got the util. He's got the kit as well. Is he just waiting for this T side to abandon sites? Stododo doesn't look like he's keen to. And to be fair, neither does Just, playing in and around that ramp. There's the smoke on the bomb. There's the molly to try and deny. And there is Stododo to get his team double digits. Movistar Koi are not done swinging yet.
Yeah, now Demq has to drop the Krasnal. They're going to be left with basically 0 economy, I believe, after this buy as well. So now it's actually Monte who are a little bit worried calling in one of their own pauses. First of this map. Yeah, I was just thinking... There was a few moments where things were shaky, especially early on. I was surprised we didn't see a tactical timeout from them. Now using it. But yeah, they should have everything in this round anyway. No op available, I don't think, unfortunately, but all the M4s are there, pretty much perfect utility. Hopefully a few kits. 2 of them at most, I think, is what they're gonna be looking at. Which could be an issue if it comes down to the retake again, but we've seen them on the CT side looking real solid so far. Obviously, Movistar Kai managed to just about edge out that previous round by leaving them in an awkward position where the retake was kind of a save or just throw themselves wildly at it. Davig finally finding them a bit of form now a couple rounds in a row where he's gotten the 2 kills as well. So, as we'd said, that was kind of the difference maker that was needed for Movistar Kai, but can they keep that up now is the question. A lot of nade damage early on.
Monte going for a Movistar special here.
Gives up a lot of control elsewhere.
Oh, Mopos wants it. He has gone a little quiet in the last couple of rounds. He had been the catalyst for everything good from this T side. This time, not quite to be. I'll leave Just lurking and look to exert themselves elsewhere on the map, going back towards that A ramp. Just is tagged up, though. Those damage from the HEs could well prove significant. Diha wants this fight. Tucks himself in tight to the angle. Stiko to join him, and I mean, Just is a sitting duck here for a clear out. Really is. So how long can he survive and how long can he keep his team in a position where they can get something done? Deep smoke from the CT side. That's deeper than they would have liked. Demq on the off angle. Krasnal in towards the hole. Opos tagged up. He's toying with it. He wants it, but Demq is a hell of a fight to take. And on the off angle as well. Here comes the clearance down that ramp. And well, just as abandoned ship, HGs continue to come in. 30 seconds left. They've got to give this a go now, surely. Molotov goes in. Demq will be flushed out by it, but look at the CT read. 3 players in position, ready to receive this hit as the util comes out. Can they do it? Demq with a huge kill onto Mopos down the side lane makes this incredibly one-dimensional. Daviji continuing to try and do what he can to try and have impact, but the molly damage is surely too much. Justin Daviji looking to be the heroes, and somehow they've bought themselves a 2v1 with 8 seconds left, but they planted the wrong side of the box, Dean! It's 12 for Stico the hero, and Movistar Koi fluffing their lines again.
It's these few little mistakes that are just costing them so big time. I mean, we've seen a small few things kind of coming in, nades and such not being perfect towards the end of Nuke, but it just seemed kind of like they needed to warm up in that regard because things had been so easy. But I don't know, they've just felt a little bit off in the team play aspect of things in comparison to what we usually expect. The communication even, I think we had to point out in a couple of the early rounds that things just didn't seem to be kind of playing out like they were talking to each other all that much. And instead now of tying things up as they should have and taking probably a lead for themselves, they're facing down the barrel of an overtime. They need 2 rounds in a row to make that happen.
Yeah, it's getting really tough now. It feels like Mopos is being really effectively shut down. And he really was the entry into so many of these T-side rounds. Now they've got some big questions to be asked. Should have shut that one down, gave Stico a 1v2. Tough situation, limited time on the clock, but you've got to back yourself to finish those. Buy's still not great for the CT side. Stico on an MP9. He's going to stick himself up close and personal. Adam's not going to clear it. It's a freebie for Stico, and this stinks of map 3 now. Man advantage there for the CT side. First time in a while that they've put themselves in such a fantastic position. Demq wants Mopos again, and Demq will get what he's after. 18-11. Absolutely flying, and the CT side have just picked Movi apart at the critical moment. This one feels like it's going to take a miracle now. Stododo, Justin, Daviji to try and find some kind of a way, but just not been firing on all cylinders at all. They've just looked a little flat, given the entries to Monte, and well, they've done it again here, a 3-on-5. So much time left on the clock, but what can you do with it when you're this far down?
Oh, they're going to need some desperate individual players there if they want to somehow turn this back in their favor. Time's already ticking away. There's still bits of utility to be used out here, as you can see with this fresh smoke on ramp. That's not playing up. Oh, might be in trouble as the nade goes down. Actually, it's a team kill from Stododo. Daviji is not having a great game here as his teammate takes him out. A couple of trades back and forth, but it's not going to be enough. Stododo's left alone now to try and save the day. Does look like it's going to be needed as the decider here after all, and there you go.
There it is.
Confirms it with the final bullet. 13-10. I mean, it got a little bit shaky. We did see Movistar Kai start to find some footing after things looked like they were kind of just slipping away completely, but yeah, in the end, Monte just came alive, and I do really think Daviji having such a poor performance for the kind of first 3 quarters of that game really is what cost them in the long run.
Yeah, that was tough because it did feel, I mean, he was, what, 0-16 at one point. It really did feel like if he's momentum back, then this one is probably leaning their way. If they have to start CT, if they get battered by the individual talent of Monte, then I think we could still be in for something of an upset here. We could start to see this Monte roster perform in the way we know they have the potential to do. But it all lies on Anubis. It all lies on the here and on the now. It will be Monte starting CT side, and Movistar Koi will get their preferred T-side start, Dean.
Yeah, hopefully with an actual strong start to it as well, because even if they prefer the T side, if they lose out this pistol and things spiral early on, then that could be worst case scenario for them. Monte, it looks like they're going to be going fairly aggressive on this pistol round. They've already got one player pushed up deep in towards main, I believe. They've got the backup to take the initial point of contact, and then someone tucked in behind that pillar as well. So maybe a little bit of a read here, expecting this to go towards the A-bomb site. And I mean, for now, the bomb is sort of in this direction.
Definitely feels like they've done their homework somewhere, doesn't it? The question is, will it end up being right? The mid-A split feels on here, and well, Demq puts an end to it almost instantly. A lovely little shot, and there's plenty of bodies here. That doesn't seem to have been communicated just yet. Just is still toying with the idea of coming into it. The flashbang goes in. Demq fully blind, but Hades is there to back his man up. And this one is starting to fall apart. There is a dink in mid in the meanwhile. Mopos at the very least has brought Krasnal down low, but they're losing bodies, and Krasnal doesn't care how much health he's got. A clean headshot will do the same regardless, and now it is just onto Davigi and Adam. The bomb plant will go down, a 2v5 to try and hold on to. A low HP bar on Krasnal makes it feel a little bit more viable, but Sticko's got a kit, and there needs to be some early kills. Adam finds the first, up close and personal, knows he needs to get out of dodge, knows he needs to support his teammate, but he's gone down as well, and Adam, he's got it all to do. A quick double makes it feel that little bit more viable, but he's being split down. He's so nearly there. A quad kill in the round. The 180 ace felt so on, but it's Demq who comes out on top. It goes down to the last man, and Movistar, they are showing that they've got fight left in them.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy from Adam. He has been pretty consistent throughout this series so far. Hasn't really trailed behind, hasn't been fragging like a madman either, but he's clearly very solid, and from what I've seen from him in the past throughout matches as well, he is one of the better fraggers. So if he could come alive right now, that could be what they need also. But I mean, after the near 1 versus 5 from Adam, it looks like that's slightly put Monte on tilt enough at least to use one of their tactical pauses.
Early doors.
It's like, okay guys, that was too close, let's take a breather. Also trying to decide how heavy they want to go on rifles, I suppose, in this early round. Trying to get a read as to whether they're up against a force buy from that T side or not, and they are. But it's 1 AK Galil and some Tech 9s alongside actually a Mac 10 on Stododo, I didn't notice.
Yeah, they've gone util heavy. I mean, they got the bomb down, so you'd expect them to be able to get a decent force. But in trying to get an execute in the plan, they've forced Mopos and Just to go down onto those Tech 9s. Be interesting to see where they look to deploy that utility, and if it does end up being worth the investment, and whether perhaps having Mopos and Just and Galils would have been a bit better. Looks like a mid-crunch to start things off. Stododo going to boost the AK up, peer over that CT smoke and see if he can get the angle. Indeed he can. Krasnal goes down early. Nice bit of inventiveness, but almost immediately the counter spray comes through rather, and Davigi and Adam both tagged up as Movistar look to reset.
Yeah, trading around the weaponry a little bit, as you said. AK in fresh hands. The Dodo was solid on that previous map as well. They group it back over towards the B-bomb site, and well, for the moment, it's only Diha here with an MP9 to try and hold it off. So even just a 1-for-1 here would be perfect for Movistar. They'd have the bomb plant, it'd be long rotations for Monte, and with the rifles in play, they would definitely just be opting for the save. I feel like they've kind of taken the gamble, knowing that this is an option for them, at least if things go south on B.
There is low HP bars to be exploited by the MP9, but with no frags coming through, or will they? Will they bait Monte back in? The HE deals with Adam. And will that start to make them think maybe this is doable after all? Stododo, it's a laboured spray, but it does find the connection, and Diha, Demq, and Stiko are all coming from the same place here. All three of them looking to bundle their way out of Speedway. A huge HE comes in, but it's not quite enough to convert on the kill. So Mopos will stay tucked, he'll stay tight, he'll play his teammate's death, but Diha and Sticko combine well, and now just 2 T-side players remain. In fact, make that 1, it's Davigi all alone. He's desperately trying to connect the shots. They won't quite land for him, but the bomb is on a slight off angle, and oh my goodness, that was getting sketchy. It is Monte who win out against the force buy of Movistar Koi. It goes down to the absolute last man, but a huge triple kill from Diha keeps Monte in the ascendancy.
Yeah, I mean, it's Diha who does it as well. He was the sole defender, initially manages to stay alive after taking the initial nade kill. Lets the M48 do most of the work, finding the initial openings as he closed in the distance with the MP9, and obviously in the end was able to try things out and get the clutch successfully. So good work from Monte. But again, a bit too close for their liking. 2 rounds in a row now they've called in their tactical pauses. What if they need them later? This is the only thing I'm worried about. I've never had to say in round 3, guys, watch you don't run out of tactical pauses. That might be a first for me.
It definitely feels like they're having some serious discussions. I wonder if it's because they know how T-side leaning Movistar Koi are, that they're willing to perhaps take the risk of using these timeouts earlier to make the big decisions. Because, I mean, there's clearly been a discussion around the finances, and Movistar Koi with 2 bomb plants in 2 rounds will be forcing again. So clearly there's a discussion to be had around that and how they can beat this round back. And if they can, without a bomb plant, then it's a half buy from Movistar Koi, and this CT side really gets off to the best start. But it's been close a couple times now. So that CT economy by no means established either. It definitely feels like that's got to be the tone of discussion, as Movistar Koi just want to contact into this A site. MQ is shouldering the P. He takes so much damage. It's such a tough angle, and they're going to charge on through. Or are they? They get desperately close to the smoke and then double back. And that is all a ploy to draw the mid player in towards cameras. That's Hades. This angle becomes increasingly difficult to hold. You've got to be worried about the far and the close. And, well, he does worry about it just in time and gets both of them. Mopos and Adam fall to the ground. The AWPer with a little bit of magic out of his back pocket. And this becomes very one-dimensional now. Out of main they come. Hades. It's just a shooting gallery for the AWPer. 3 to his name in the round, and he's got just locked out. Doesn't land that shot, so will allow Stododo to get into a position to plant that bomb down, but Demq immediately in with the punishment. It's another really well-executed round from Monte. Hades starting to show up, which is exactly what we wanted. And surely Movistar Koi have got to consider the half by now.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, they've got the economy to go for it, and at the very least then we'll be able to keep this damage being maintained on the economy, because they're starting to build it up just a little bit now on that Monte side after that previous round. Galils, they're actually going maybe fully in. Adam's been playing well, so I wouldn't mind the 1 hero rifle right there, because if they can at least get a bomb plant with the Galil and some tech lines backing it up, then it won't really be a big deal. And as I said, with a few kills on top of that especially, they could set themselves up to really start turning things around in this next gun round. Fast towards mid. Already forced, I believe that was Sticko back.
Here's the split to B. Krasnal very fortunate, fully blind to get 1 before he goes down, but there's still a lot of pressure on this B site hold now, and you can see Diha knows it. He's got to hold so many angles at once here, and he's caught in 2 mines. Davaji gets the freebie, and this is violent now. This is dangerous. 4v3 after plant in favor of the T side. You didn't think you'd find yourself saying that, but the Tech 9s have done so much heavy lifting. 2 rifles recovered. That spam always catches a wall, always looks like it should be dead on and is never quite there. Demq wants to get into this site, wants to find a position to get some damage done. Hades trades his teammate's death at the very least, but that bomb already halfway ticked, and Davaji has got a fantastic proactive position to shut it down. Movistar Koi will have their first T round here. It's the half buy that gets it for them. And what consequences is that going to have for the CT economy, as Hades is being run down for all he's worth here, desperate to try and hold on to that AWP. If he's quick, he might just get away with it, as Davaji is not going to hunt any further.
Oh, no, we're throwing away any of their own weapons. Hades is obviously now still working with the op, but other than that, they might still have 1 or 2 players who are left with a weakness in terms of nades. So it doesn't make a massive difference. The buy was coming either way. He has actually on an MP9, but he made that work earlier on, so I'm not going to judge it too much. Towards that B-bomb site, it can still be dangerous, but Movistar, they need more off the back of this. Losing this round now would just leave them in a very vulnerable position where only a couple players could really afford the rifles. Adam up close on mid. The way out the utility, of course, and there's an op actually, I believe, playing a bit of an off angle right now in on mid, which could be very difficult to deal with if they don't go through with a flash.
It's a nice call from Movistar Koi, actually. They've conditioned the CT side to have to respect B now. Stiko and Krasnal, there will be no quick rotation. So Movistar Koi, they post a man deep into mid to catch those very rotations, and then they start to work the A main area. Force Stiko to fall back. Force Hades to work his way around to heaven. That mid control now essentially completely conceded. And having toyed with the rotations as much as they want, now we'll see Movistar Koi start to plan the execute. But there is a counterplay. It is going to be aggression from Demq, and Stiko shut down at the point of entry. Just with a huge kill. Pop flash to get in. Stiko wants the fight and he'll get it. Just absolutely ripping it apart. Hades finally puts him to bed, but Stododo, meanwhile, has found a kill in towards mid, and a leg on Adam will just give the AWPer's position away. And knew it's all on Diha now. He's isolated inside this beast site, but they've overlooked him initially. And now Stododo is in a bit of a rough spot. He's managed to get onto a rifle. His teammates have dealt with the remaining CT player, but Diha is still alive and kicking, and he's still isolating these 1v1s. Gets the dink on Mopos as well. Movistar Koi just about able to dig themselves out of trouble, but it is mighty close.
Maybe a bit too close for their liking, but either way, it puts the economy of Monte just across the line into a position where they can't quite buy. Maybe a couple of pistols come out, but even that, they can't afford to spend much on with only 2,400 loss bonus. So Movistar should be tying us up at 3-3, and well, they'll want to keep on building on top of that because, as you said, it's the D side where we'll be looking at them to get most of their work done. So this was more of a necessity than a positive for them, the fact that they are coming alive now.
Here comes the aggression. They want to try and isolate that AK. A 2-for-1, not bad at all from the pistols. Adam at range, trying to keep them relatively quiet, and indeed, as you said, there is a real difficulty to get out of this one. Adam finds a couple more for himself, and well, Demq was hoping that he might just catch someone completely off guard with the aggression in towards B, but nobody really looking for it. Stododo's watching for any over-aggression up mid, and they've taken both sites in the meanwhile, so just a matter of flushing out this remaining player without too much damage done, really, and well, that should be easy enough, and indeed it is. Adam gets himself a nice triple to warm up. 3-all, and things will start to get interesting again.
Yeah, we were saying this might be the map where we get a bit of back and forth, so I am hoping that still holds true and we get a more competitive third map in comparison to the first two. Even Vertigo being a 13-10 scoreline wasn't all that close. First the Dodo. Hades just rocking the rifle for the moment on the other side, and well, they actually don't have a kit, I don't believe. That could be a big problem. Do they have any early plans to try and get that pick, perhaps, to alleviate a little bit of pressure?
Nice you do.
Yeah, Mopo's just about got away there, but he, I think, took one bullet on top of the nade damage that he ended up eating. Krasnal forced it back by the molly, which allowed Davy to work his way in. Okay. He's fired up after having a poor performance on the previous map.
It's a really nice shot. You can see it's drawing out a bit of aggression here. Stiko wanting to press the issue in mid. Spam through the smoke, not quite connecting onto him. Still a minute on the clock. Movistar Koi with plenty of time to make the decisions. CT's looking a little bit stretched. Diha wants the fight and he just walks in dry. David G will take those every day of the week. Execute comes in vaguely towards the A site in the meanwhile. Hades continuing to try and lock down B, but David G is on another level now. One-man wrecking ball, 3 kills on the B site. And that should be job done. Demq and Stiko will do well to hold on to these rifles to give them something to work with in the next. The financial situation of Monte is not good at all, and you've got to imagine looking across at Movistar Koi, they're going to hunt. And Just's position suggests exactly that, just locking them into the A site. Davigi clearing his way down through mid. There's a real timer on this. CTs will be desperate to stay up. Demq especially, he's got the util. But they know they've got them penned in, and well, Davigi's playing this smart. He's waiting for Adam to join him before he works his way into the site. Davigi spotted out. Davigi dealt with. Last man spotted. Last man dealt with. Flawless from Movistar Koi. A quad kill for Davigi, who's on another level here, and they are really starting to turn the screws.
Yeah, Monte's starting to scare me just a little bit again. As we said, though, we expect Movistar to get a lot of their rounds on this D side, so I think if Monte can aim for 5, they won't be feeling too bad. Definitely could have been a little bit better after the start that they were able to find, but grinding out a couple more will do it for them. For now, though, I'm not expecting that to happen. Some pistols, a few nades, including a lot of smokes, so I do wonder if they have a plan in mind for those, maybe a little bit of a stack later on in the round, or are they just kind of using them to run down the time here early on in a default? Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Stick was
okay.
standing his ground.
Shot to open it up. It always makes it feel a little more sketchy when you see the pistols get a man advantage early on. It feels a little dangerous. Sticko only a bit of damage through the smoke onto a retreating Adam as well. 4 on 4. Can that AK, recovered in the exchange, rotate into a position to get something done is the real question. D has been called off. They want to try and be proactive with it. Understandable, but it's the wrong way at the wrong time. It's going to leave Krasnal. We've seen these 5-7s have big moments. They need another one here. Up close. Just goes in early. There's the free headshot. Now, Stododo is worried about this. He knows that he's in trouble, and he is so dangerous, that 5-7. Krasnal finds 2 headshots, recovers himself an AK, and now this is trouble for Movistar Koi. Their perfect round, their opportunity is going, slipping by them as Krasnal triples. And Mopos is left to try and see if maybe there's some kills to be had. He doesn't spot Diha, gets 4x3. It's 4 all, and Monte have pulled off the miracle.
Okay. I said there wasn't much hope for them to really do anything in that round, and somehow they proved it was completely wrong. It won't immediately put the nail on any sort of coffin here from Movistar. They had built up good money, but still, it's not really a round you can afford to be losing with how shaky this series has been in general so far. Seeing one round lead to massive spirals out of control. So what is the response now from Movistar Kai? That's the question. Hades is back on his op. Nades can be any better for Monte as well. They have a perfect buy on this CT side. And a chance, in theory, still to head up towards an 8-4 scoreline.
Adam wants this fight again in towards mid, but that pop flash through the doors is lovely. It's a bit of a laboured fight. Stiko gets the job done. Stododo has to bail out a dodge as well, knowing he's not got any support, so the man advantage is secured, locked down by Monte. Stiko finding consistent impact now. Couple of rounds he's been the opener in towards mid. Where do Movistar take it from here? Diha through the smoke, deals with Mopos out of B main. Spam fight just not going his way, and Stododo now cuts a very lonely figure in towards Connector. He's trying to get a HE onto Diha. It's a lot of damage, but it's no conversion. And for the T side, this looks so blunt now. No map control to work with. Just recovering bomb now. Where do you even look to go? You've got to imagine it's a pop onto a site. It looks like B is the target. If maybe Stododo can open this up with an early peek, it might feel viable, but there's rifles and AWPs inside of this site, and they're getting ready for the aggression. Krasnal with a lightning-fast headshot. There's the trade, desperately needed, but Hades is still here, still kicking as the util starts to flush his teammates out. He's right in position to lock down the kills. Just gets one, a missed shot from Hades, but he's onto the Deagle to mop up where he's needed. Another big round out of the AWPer, a critical double kill. Monte take the lead once again. And as much as the buys will keep on coming, they've started to falter for Movistar Koi.
Yeah, more than falter. It's fallen apart for them here off the back of that round that they really should not have lost. Only using their own first tactical timeout now. Obviously, Monte had already used 2 in the first couple of rounds. Well, they're using it now because they're spending the last of that economy that they had built up throughout that run of rounds that they looked so strong in. To at least get the op once again. But Stododo's not doing a ton with that. It can be difficult to op on the T side of Anubis, so maybe the rifle would have been a safer bet, but for now they want to keep it in play. Seeing Movistar with heavy focus around mid. I do wonder if they're going to swap things up. We haven't seen a lot on the A side of things.
Definitely feels like there needs to be a change, doesn't it? Consistently trying to work that mid control. Sticko's found a way to break it. This time a heavy B lean.
Yeah.
To start things off, this is going to be quick.
Sending Adam mid as they had before, though, so it might seem like it's perhaps just the default if he did find contact, although they're not even going to wait for that. Just coming straight through main, a crazy spray from Sticko that he just couldn't quite get control of. And then a flurry of frags come in for the T side, which leave them with a man advantage. I say that, but it's just about, you've got 22 health for 2 of them combined, so Stododo's the only healthy looking man left on that T side.
That's some really nice util from Davigi, though. The smoke completely locks out both of these remaining players. The HG should have finished him off, but it gets caught on a ledge, and that'll be enough. The fall of a HE that should have killed Davigi but didn't will be enough to deter Monte from giving this one a go. 16 HP between Davigi and Justin. They will get away with it. 5-all. Movistar Koi, the fast-paced B hit. It's a little ugly. It's a little rough around the edges. Definitely a work in progress. But it's a work in progress that works for them. 5 apiece. I mean, this T-side, it's not feeling great, but if they can come away with 6, even 7 rounds, I think Movistar will take that with open arms. It's definitely felt like Monte have been in the ascendancy at times, and Movi are just scrapping, keeping the fight.
Yeah, I mean, the scrappy back and forth. Again, it was our hope for this map. It's always kind of a... You want it to happen because it makes the game fun, but it's usually only because of mistakes that are being made on one side or the other, so it can be a little bit tilting to watch sometimes. Obviously, a strong round played out by Movistar there is what was needed. Davigi eats an upshot to the leg. And a great start for him into this round.
That's a really nice read from Hades and Monte, actually. They know they've pushed Movistar Koi off of that mid control, so they go there with 2. Put the AWP in a position to have impact, but Demq now under trouble, has Hades to back him up. First the leg shot, which allows him to kill Davigi, then the AWP straight up takes out Just. Rotating it around so that Movistar are never quite sure where he is and where he's going to be finding his next kill. Krasnal deals with Mothballs outside of B main, and this one again has just methodically fallen apart, pick after pick going against the T side. For Adam and Stododo, aggression all over the shot to deal with. A missed shot from Stododo. His position now known, tagged up. We'll finally deal with one. Opens the account of Movistar Koi, dealing with Sticko, but with 40 seconds left on the clock, he doesn't look that interested in trying anything else. Crickets.
Yeah, I mean, they're miles away from each other here as well. No time other than to just likely go for the save. Krasnal pushing through might even have a chance of taking the up away. The timing, I thought, might have worked in his favor for a moment, but no, Stododo checked in on the right as well. So, yeah, that should at least confirm the weapons being saved. I don't think you hunt this too aggressively if you're Monte. You want to make sure everyone has their guns into the final round of the half to head towards that 7-5 scoreline, which again would be really good for them here on this CT side. Especially after the start Movistar Kai had. We were thinking Movistar were heading towards 7, maybe even 8 rounds on that T side pretty early on, and off the back of the weaker round win from Monte, they've managed to turn this back into a really strong half for themselves. Even leaving a couple of Galils in the hands of Movistar in this final round here, so it's not quite a perfect buy.
This looks really good. Definitely finding their feet as the series goes on, getting warmed up after the player break. Aggression up mid, this time is the call. They have been spotted as they've made this go, however, and a laboured spray from Adam will take advantage of that fact. Plenty of damage done onto Adam and Stododo respectively, but neither quite able to find the kill. And with the man advantage, can Movistar Koi makes something of it. Mopos wants to go through on the flashbang. It's beautifully flashed through, but he doesn't clear his corners. So as much as he kills one, he leaves Dihar alive, and he so nearly eats it up. 2 kills, not quite able to transfer onto the third. The damage is hugely significant, however, and Hades continuing to have impact. A shoulder is given and taken away. Just is left in the 1v2, and he's got no idea that these 2 players are grouped up. It's a field day for Hades as Monte take the lead 7-5. The platform is there for Monte. They have set themselves up. They are in the right place to be successful now. Can they find the conversion? Movistar Koi historically struggling CT side. Monte, a pistol conversion, a clean start to this second half would surely send them on their way, Dean.
Yeah, this really is a prime position, as you said, for Monte if they take this pistol to put an end to the series potentially without too much of a struggle. Slow creep up towards mid. It was initially spotted, forcing that player to fall back deep, but he does so very fast. So in theory, Monte could be anywhere right now. They didn't have to have committed to this mid play. They are indeed going to do so, though, in towards A, where they're finding a bit of a stack. So this is rough now. Let's see if the Glocks can find success. The early long-range fights do go the way of the USP, but it's not going to be quite as effective for Adam as he falls. Demq coming alive on this Glock. They've locked just out towards main, which should give them the room they need for the bomb plan. I think that Sticko flank is going to be a bit late, though.
Yeah, timing here is going to be everything. Diha, critical kill onto Davigi, and now they're isolating the fights. Just looks for it. There's the flank from Sticko. That critical kill from Diha really unlocks the whole thing. And Mopos, well, he swings wide, gets one, but the trade is immediate. Nice plan from Monte. Well executed. The site is locked out. Those Glocks up close and personal do so much work. And, well, Movistar Koi have got some big decisions to make now. Surely the full eco as Monte look to run away with this T side.
Yeah, this is, as we said, pretty much worst case scenario now for Movistar. They'll be forced to take an eco, hope that this first gun round goes their way and that they can build off the back of it. But if it doesn't, then things are probably not really going to get going at all on this on the CT side. Full B stack. I do like that they're taking the gamble, especially since they have no investment. One flash though, alongside the V250 unjust. Fairly standard default for Monte though. They really don't have to rush into anything in this round. They've gone heavy on Galil's. One Mach 10 that can maybe build up economy, and it's getting the chance to do so. Okay, Diha, a little bit of assistance. It's the ace in the end. 3 of the kills on the Mach 10 as well. It's more like they crashed into a wall than a pole.
Tish. Savage round. Lovely moneymaker for Diha as well as the buy starts to come in for Movistar Koi. This one may well decide it, and the problem they've got is that despite the Galils on Monte, the finances of Movistar Koi mean they have to make sacrifices. 3 players without head armor. Stadodo's gone full glass cannon. Makes it incredibly difficult for this CT side, and the wall of smokes is up to try and enable Diha to go for a little bit of a wander into this site, and he's managed to get across without being spotted. Here they go, fast on in. Nice shot from Stadodo to open. The utility now isolates those fights. Mopos does very well to bail his AWPer out. Krasnow will look to get this bomb down in the 3-on-4. A double swing traded nicely initially, but Hades and Sticko able to combine and buy themselves the 2-on-2. Question is, will they expect the E-Box player, and what is his timing like? Stadodo's been heard. He's been noisy about this. It is all on Just realistically. His timing will decide this one. Molotov extinguished just through the smoke. Spotted. Gets the first, but won't find the second. Krasnal is there for the trade. And Monte find the critical rifle round.
Yeah, so close. They give it their best back and forths right up until the last kill, but they just can't get it across the finish line. And, well, unfortunately now, as we said, they're looking at another half investment. That seems to be all that they're going to be able to pull out. It'll be 11 for Monte, and one more gun round is basically enough to solidify their victory. One hero M4 on Mopos, though. He had a fantastic performance back on Vertigo. It's been a little bit quiet since then, though. Crazy again for Monte.
Yeah. Seen these Deagles go to work a couple of times now, but Monte treating them with the respect they're due. Just passive in these opening moments, waiting for the aggression that they know has to come. A dink from the M4's not good enough. Demq able to deal with just in simultaneous fashion. And the picks are just going against them. Diha even finds Davigi. The Mac 10 up against the recovered M4A1. And it's the Mac that comes out superior. Adam and Stododo left. The bomb is working its way towards a completely unoccupied A site. This will be 11 for Monte. It's just a question of how much damage these two remaining pistols can do.
Yeah, I mean, Adam's been having a decent game, but I don't think his 5-7 is going to get much of a chance here. I'm just now going down, so taking an exit or two maybe could be worthwhile in terms of hunting for it. See if there was anything around there. I think that's just a Mac 10, is it? Yeah. I mean, it's something, but I don't think you necessarily need to hold onto it to get 2,900, I believe, in this next round. Oh, decent shot by Stododo.
Okay.
That's an AK. He might not get it in time, though. Unfortunately, DemQ was fairly close on mid. Now the Mac 10 at long range probably won't fare much better, so Adam says, yeah, okay, let's just stay alive at this point. I could do with the Kevlar I currently have, especially. Oh, and he even gets that kill with the Mac 10. There we go. Extra 600 quid. They get the op on Stododo either way. Adam should get the M4 out alongside a good batch of utility, including one of their 2 kits. So it is a nice find. You gonna get the second kit? Either way, they have to win this round, and well, with that, they've actually decided to use up their second tactical pause now as well. Monte never needed that third one.
You were a little worried for a second, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, round 3, we thought maybe they were running out of pauses, but clearly the early discussion was enough for them to turn things around, and really they've just been in the driver's seat since.
Yeah. Some terminal around, considering map 1. Monte have really found their form. Definitely, I think, starting to see the early signs of promise, and just perhaps that the new in-game leading and the new system's not quite bedded in yet, or that Hades needs some time to grow into the role on these slightly looser maps. Seeing what they're made of. 2 rounds away from taking the series victory. And this buy, well, it's do or die time for the CT side. Stododo wants this peak as well. Sets himself up in jail. Hoping that someone will give him a look in. For now, Monte happy to play passively, happy to hold their angles.
It looks like it probably will eventually head in the direction of B, but they're hoping to be able to find something as they probe it for the moment. Maybe expect Movistar Kai to go aggressive themselves. Well, that might not be a bad shout. They definitely were considering close on main right there until they found that fight towards the connector, and they still want Stododo to go forward. That's a bit of a mistake. I guess if the smoke gun behind them realized he had no more assistance anymore, was hoping to maybe at least take a player with him, but instead it's just left openings on towards that B bomb site where all the players have already been weakened up.
So much damage done. There's a fast rotate coming in from A from both Just and Adam S, but the damage is surely being found here. They're trying to transfer the bomb across, though, and Adam gets the critical kill. Drops that bomb for a split second, buys his team a 3-on-2 that they really had no business getting their hands on. Should have been a done deal. Now, Diha on 10 HP, nothing he can do. It is all on Sticko. And what should have been the round that likely decided the series has slipped away in heartbreaking fashion, you have to say. There's so much damage on the board, but the shoulder peak isn't going to work. Daviji gets his kill. It's 6 on the board for Movistar Koi. I've got to admit, I did not see that one coming.
Yeah, kind of out of nowhere. If not for Adam's play catching the rotations there on mid, they were pretty much screwed. So it's the individuals who are able to carry them through into a 6th, as you said, but now they need to keep that up for pretty much a flawless CT side from this point forward, unless they want to fight for an overtime or just straight up lose. So no more dropping rounds. This round still is one that they have to overcome before they find anything a bit easier as well. It'll be the next round forward where the ecos will come into play. A nade, not doing as much damage as I thought it was for a moment. Thanks to the fact that he was jumping himself, I believe. Yeah, slow default from Monte right now. To be expected.
Just waiting out. It's understandable. We've seen a lot of proactivity in the last few rounds from Movistar Koi. in both the early and the mid round. So just waiting it out in the initial seconds to see if it will be forthcoming before they plan their play. It looks like they want to put some pressure onto mid here. Stiko and Hades going to work their way down. Open a rifle's a nice combination to have in position. Adam flashes through the door. It's an ugly flash, but it works. Hades now under pressure, does well to trade it. Stododo, meanwhile, has taken a ton of damage in towards A main. And it does look like they still want this A split. There's a fast-paced rotation from Mopos. The CT side have read it well. How much do they want to commit to this now on the T side? That is the question. How much have Monte read into this? Spamming through from main is DemQ, not spotting much. The bomb is not committing up mid yet. It is doubling back, and there's only 30 seconds on this clock. This is going to get real sketchy. They all want to go A main. They all want to be in together and just barrel into this A site as fast as they can. And the fact they've taken so long has actually played in their favor. They've drawn the rotations away with 16 seconds left. It's all on Adam S and a fast rotation from Stododo. If they can deny this plant going down, this round is theirs. If they can't, it's over. DemQ with a big double kill should enable that plant to go down. Stododo gets him finally, but it's a 2-on-2 after plant. And Stododo is so low on HP. Hades goes for the wall bang and connects it. And it leaves Davigi. He had a tough second map. He's been a hero so far here, but the spray that time is whiffed, and whilst he deals with Hades, he can't quite find Diha. 12 is on the board, and that's 6 series points for Monte.
Yeah, so many chances, as you said, to put an end to this. The final pause from Movistar Kai comes out before Monte ever had a need for their one, and well, yeah, they needed to have a little bit of a discussion here because it's going to be at least a weaker weapon or two. Just actually decides to go for the M4, which leaves them with very few nades, just a HE. I don't think they're going to have a kit to work with either, unless Davy G is willing to completely sacrifice down to maybe an MP9. I think that's what we might have to see from him. Either way, as you said, 6 rounds needed in a row just to get an overtime. Surely Monte have this one in the bag.
You'd have to imagine it now.
Just to remind people, this series kicked off with, what, an 11-1.5 from Movistar Kai on Nuke?
Yep.
Since then, they've just slowly been letting that lead wither away, whether it was the lead, obviously, in terms of the maps, or on Vertigo as well, where they had the chance to potentially take the 2-0 and then kind of let that slip away.
Here we go. Comeback has to start now if you're Movistar Koi. Just chewing on a HE early. Hot flash to try and get DemQ into the angles. Stododo stands firm, however. And they do group towards this B site early. 3 players actually trying to pile the pressure on, bleed out the util. That's exactly what they do. 3 flashes, 2 HEs are all that remain for this CT side now. To try and stall this one out, make that 2. T-side looking shallow as well, but it never seems to matter quite as much. It's just an Adam. Rotated into mid. They're ready to deal with this. Again, they want this mid-A split. But there's timings. There's counter-aggression to be played with. Davigi has cleared his way out of con. And he's starting to work back. Krasnal should see this. Timing should be everything. DemQ gets one early. That's the entry into the A site. Now just trying to be the hero. Goes 1 for 1. And Adam is under pressure again. Back of cake. He's got it all to do. He gets a lovely little kill. And Hades is reluctant to go in for the immediate trade. Now DemQ gets the job done. The man advantage is theirs. The afterplant should be shortly coming, but it's an awkward fight. Krasnal just about bails his teammate out. And it's all on Davigi. The 1v2 to keep Movistar Koi alive, and it will never be. 13-6. The job is done for Monte, and what a comeback to fun. Insane. Just ability from Monte to get their heads back in the game and get back in the fight.
Yeah, it can be a difficult mindset, as we said, going down so massively in the first map. Not